What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Let's get it going. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Let's get this thing going. What up, bro? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where my dude at? I just dug in and it was freezing cold. Yep. Hey. Everybody get in and grab that daily heart me and like and share. Let's see. What else we got? Put that on Do Not Disturb. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Just sharing it out to everybody. Let's see. Thank you for the daily heart, me daughter. Appreciate it. Let's see. Where's your mama? Let's see where my boy 33 at. What's going on, bro? What's good, man? I just sent you an invite too, man. What's good with you? How was your day? How's everybody's day been today? Make sure you grab that daily heart, me, man. I appreciate the rose, brother. Appreciate it. Man, I need to shave. I'm tripping. Man, you know that's a hell of a phrase right there. Everything great on purpose. That's what I'm talking about. Man, I ain't got no complaints, man. You know, again, figuring out some stuff, you know, like I was telling y'all last night, man. Finally got a shop that I'm going to take my wife's car to, Monday to get those repairs done from that accident. So got that much figured out. Yeah, man. So other than that, I ain't got no complaints, man. Chilling. Where your brother at? I shot him an invite. I ain't seen him yet. He told me he was gonna try to avoid this topic tonight. I told him, nah, don't avoid it. Embrace it. You went to the place of money early this morning. Hey, that's what you gotta do. You gotta get that, them coins. You say you're looking for him too. Hey, he ducking and dodging right now. That's all right. I'm gonna send Godmother after him. I'm either gonna send Godmother or I'm gonna send Lady E. Matter of fact, let me go and send my invite to Lady E. They gonna get him. Oh man. Oh, let's see. Oh, look like Godmother. Like she might be on a Zoom. You know, she stay busy with that real estate, man. I'm telling you. But she might come on a little bit after that. So tell me he ain't gotta be scared now. Let me see. Let me hit Keita. Let me see what Keita gonna do tonight. Let's see who we got. What else? What's we sending out to my boy E, man. Hadn't seen E in a minute. All right. All right, cool. So let's see. All right, bet. All right, we'll wait around for a second. All right. Appreciate that heart, me brother. Appreciate it. Okay, bet. Oh, the topic for tonight. I'm gonna tell you what it is. All right. The topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry. Yeah. You know, that like that. Take it back to 97, that classic movie Love Jones. You know, that classic thing, man. Everybody know how Lorenz Tate and Neil Long was in Love Jones. Classic, man. Yeah, that's boy, that's a powerful love, man. Like people don't even understand that Love Jones love. Come on, man. Come on, man. And then next week will be that love and basketball love. I got them all laid out, man. Like, but that, yeah, we don't need that Jason. I don't know, that Jason Lyric love kind of weird too. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see what it gonna be. Let's see. I got a couple people about to come up in just a second. Let me see where they at. Let me see. I got my sis coming on. There's Tay. What's up, beautiful? What's good, sis?
I just brushed my teeth.
Hey, man,
I
ain't nothing wrong with a clean mouth. Clean mouth. Hey,
was,
look, I'm tripping. I need to get on my business.
I was doing my best to hurry up and take a shower and stuff. So I can hop on. I was like, I'm not gonna miss
No, you're not gonna miss it, man.
it. Yes. Y'all get to see me use some of my skincare products because I already washed my face.
Hey, go for it, man. Hey, y'all know. Hey, look, I already told y'all that's Mary Kay right there, now. Come on, got them skin products for you. Next level, say, look at that beautiful smile.
Thank you.
You got so many reasons to smile right now, man.
Oh yeah.
So many reasons, man. I'm still just out walking around today going, wait a second, yo, nephew. Like, you know how it is? It just kind of hit me after the fact too, like, okay, this is really happening.
Like I'm getting calls from New York, like strangers are cheering for him. I just got a call today from Philadelphia, California, Florida, Texas. Like he made like history and put Stockbridge on the map. Like he's
Oh yeah.
like I had some family members calling like, oh, he's gonna be in the history book. I was like, ma'am, this is why I let y'all go to voicemail because my son was in the National Georgia Archives his first year of college.
Right.
That's
And he
when it
thought,
went in. He was doing it before college. So go on back. I'll see you at the family barbecue. Get off my
right.
line.
Like, come on, man. Nephew been like on this thing, man. Like, people don't understand, man. At a young age. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
At a young age, man. So yeah, so next level, man. We talking about our nephew, man. Well, her son, my nephew. Like it was like her son, my nephew. Yeah, man. The youngest, young black man, 22 years old, became the mayor of Stockbridge, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? That's huge, man. You know, 22 years old.
The inauguration is going to be January 9th.
January 9th. We'll be at the inauguration. January 9th.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What happened now? I could hear it, but I couldn't quite hear it. What happened?
So, PK's son, my nephew, is the youngest mayor ever elected in Georgia. The youngest in the country.
All right.
in Stockbridge, 22 years old.
Look at that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I'm gonna mute your microphone, big guy. I know he got a lot. He's on the road, so I know he got a lot of background noise. Man, but the topic for tonight, man, it's a good topic. Next level. Let me know if you're trying to come up. Oh, it's your wife's birthday on the 9th. That's what's up.
Happy
That's what's up.
birthday.
Right? Topic for tonight. A Love Jones kind of love. When chemistry feels like poetry. Where Pops at tonight?
Oh, let me send it to him.
Yeah. We gotta have Pop on there, man.
Let me send it to him. Ugh, thank you. Did you add that background for me?
Huh?
Did you add that background or did I add the background?
You add that background. You like you want to be on the damn beach somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I like how my panel. I guess I got upgraded because now I can see my panel a lot different now. So I guess TikTok likes me.
Yay.
I can have a total of like 9 people.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. TikTok like me.
Cool. Let's see.
All right, give it a second. We're gonna let her get pops in here too. Yeah, everybody, get a second. All right, let's see. And you send it out to pops, right?
I did. I just sent it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, godmother, she tied up in a Zoom, so she's not gonna jump on tonight. I need to see where's Jessica at? Let me see. Tell your mom to get on here. There is Jazz. Let's see if Jazz is gonna come up. Hopefully she do come up. Make sure everybody that's just coming in, man, grab that daily heart me, like and share, you know.
Lessons learned. What? Not that.
You're out when you hear from moral support. Oh Lord. Oh, moral support. I like moral support. I'm sorry. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, grabbing that daily heart me. Look, we're gonna get started. All right. Topic for tonight. A Love Jones kind of love. When chemistry feels like poetry. I thought about this because it's inspired, inspired by that 1997 classic Love Jones. Y'all know Lorenz Tate, Neil Long. I love me some Neil Long, y'all. Y'all know that. So I ended up marrying my version of Nia Long. She in there. Um, but yeah, let's jump into it, man. Um, what makes a Love Jones type of love? Here we go. Soul deep chemistry, not just physical attraction. It's that type of intellectual and emotional intimacy that you find in that person. It's that connection that feels effortless, yet intentional. It's vibrant conversation as foreplay. Yeah. Jazz said, I see 33 was staying away. I see you wanted some love, Jones. Hey, 33, Jazz done called you out. But that's that Love Jones kind of love. Um, who's ever had that? Lady E, thanks for the heart me. Yeah, man, when you finish each other's sentences, that's a Love Jones type of love. Yes. Yeah. That's, man, that the one where, for us that of age, that Love Jones type of love when, we didn't mind waiting until after our minutes became free after 7 o'clock to stay on the phone all night type of love. Some of us in here might be too young for that 90s kind of love. Y'all gonna get that 2000 type of love. Big t-shirt.
You said something about me, Marlon. What happened?
Jasmine said, 33 said he was trying to stay away today. I see you wanted some of this Love Jones.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Lady E said that's that high school love.
Yeah.
Y'all know what it is. Tay, you know what it is. I know you don't know nothing about this. Yeah. Y'all see Shay, she's saying, I'm just here for more support. Don't be copying Jazz because y'all born in, let's see, oh Lord. Let's see, you're born in 2004. Yeah, you don't know nothing about it. You have to watch the movie. Once you watch the movie, you'll understand everything we're talking about. You'll understand everything we're talking about. Just watch the movie. Let's see. Oh God. Love Jones. Love Jones. That's the name of the movie. It's on the app. Hey, what's going on? Brooklyn Babe for life. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, make sure you come in, grab that Daily Heart Me, sharing light. Topic for tonight is and Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry. If y'all of age, y'all know when Love Jones came out in '97. Y'all know what it is. That's a powerful love, man. So, but I got a question before I hit some of the other points. And this is for, the panel, and this is for the chat. And Brooklyn Babe, if you want to come up on the panel, I don't have no problem. I'll bring you up. Brooklyn Babe is your Love Jones. Let's see. Hold up. Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and bring both of y'all up since that's your Love Jones. I'm gonna bring y'all both up. Do you believe in a Love Jones type of connection? That instant, artistic, and soul level. Why or why not?
Hell.
What's up? What's up, bro?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah, what's happening, Marlon?
Yo, chilling, Joe. Chilling.
You on, sweetie?
Yeah, I'm on now.
All right. I hear you. So I'm gonna go back to the
Want me to be in
question.
another room?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. How about yourself? All right, I'm gonna go back to the question. Do you believe in a Love Jones type of connection?
Yes.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
It's rare, but I do believe that you can have a Love Jones type of love.
Well, yeah, so Lady E says she needs a Love Jones type of love in her life. Hey, look, man. That's
And you can really have it.
oh
You
yeah.
can really have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not just a fairy tale.
No, not at all. Not at all. You we're gonna get down to some points that'll help you figure out how to get there too. Um, but let's tell a little bit more about that Love Jones type of love. It's a romance without rules, right?
Hmm.
No official titles, but you do have a deep emotional involvement with each other, right? Um, when we say romance without rules, we're saying like the blurred lines between dating, falling, and commitment. You know what I mean? So, um, a lot of people, crave. They don't. They wouldn't identify it as a Love Jones type of love, but a lot of people crave that free flowing love instead of labels.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
That's what they say.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's like,
I always got to share a story. So
Go for it.
I was with this guy in my younger years, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't like labels and all that stuff. We can just, be together." I said, "Okay, we together." So he was getting a new phone at Verizon, and he was like, "You want to go with me?" I was like, "Sure, I'll go with you." So I walk in. I leave the house. I always have clothes on. I ain't the one to go
I
to
would hope so.
Walmart with slippers and bonnet and stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm not messing with you.
So we go, he in his t-shirt and basketball shorts, and then I put on clothes. Like, I go outside and I wear clothes. That's how I was raised. So um we go into Verizon and we go separate ways because I know he was going to handle business, and I could just look at some phones because I wasn't there for nothing and I didn't want to be in his business like that.
Hmm.
So I get approached by a guy. He started talking to me and we started, looking at phones. I mean, I thought it was just harmless because we are in Verizon and I'm with the guy that I came with. Obviously, they always say, like, welcome to Verizon or whatever when you walk in. So, we were talking. And so he was like, "Oh, give me a second." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Because I told him, he was like, "Can I help you with anything?" I was like, "Nah, I'm just looking." So, I guess he went to go check with him, the guy came in with, and he was like, "Oh, somebody's helping me already." So of course, y'all know sales. He came back over to
Hmm.
talk to me or whatever, like while I was looking, because maybe he could convince me to buy something or whatever. So as we're talking, we go up to the cash register thing because my guy friend at the time was ready to, wrap up and check out. So he was up there, so I walked up there with him. Guy's like, I'm the store manager. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, my friend here is getting the phone. And he was like, well, can I give you my number? Here's my card. And my cell phone number's on the back. You know how we used to do back in the day.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
a
yeah.
business card because you work for the company, but you still got to write your phone number on the back. So he gave me the card. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And so we get out in the parking lot. He was like, what was that? I was like, we ain't got no label. I ain't got no man. I just went to Verizon with you. So I took his number. So they say that, but they don't really mean it. Oh, but 'cause I thought you didn't want no labels. So I'm not gonna sit here for someone who don't want to give me a label, let alone their last name, and I could be missing my husband.
Ooh.
So play with
Mm,
yourself and not me.
That's right.
mm.
I didn't see the story going that way, but yo, all right, I'm here for it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm that one. I'm different. That's why I'm single. You can't play with me, especially not now at this big age. I done been through all that in them little young ages. Like for real, bro. You finna try this at what? And you what? Like old boy right now who's 66. I'm finna leave him on ice.
Mm.
You
This is
retiring, the next thing you got is coldness.
ooh.
Ain't nothing
Wow.
coming after that. You ain't finna go to college. You not finna get a promotion at your job. You not finna switch careers. Your kids are grown. You're 66. You're not gonna play with me, old granddaddy.
Oh, okay. Let's
I
see.
don't
Jasmine
want
says you
labels.
want commitment without a label, and don't expect me to live my life. Yeah,
But
yeah. Facts. 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 Whoa. All right. Shit. That's a story. Anybody else got a story?
That that does remind me of my son.
What?
Yeah, him and his I don't know what to call her. He says his friend, but you don't hang out with your friend like the way they're hanging out. And one time she decided to go out on a date with somebody else, and he got very upset. And I said, "Hey, how can you be mad? You didn't set the tone of what was going on. You didn't define anything. You didn't say I want you to be my girlfriend or wait now. Finish telling the story."
him and his loud phone.
He said, finish telling the story, Brooklyn. Brooklyn, babe.
He's like a friend with benefits.
Mm.
They all they always together. They like best friends with benefits, basically. She's a sweet girl. Don't get me wrong, she's a very sweet girl. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't hate on her if you're not defining what y'all are.
Right.
You can't be her man when you want to, but then the homie the next.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. You got to figure out. You got to know. You can't straddle the fence.
That's right. And
Yeah.
it's like relationships now are totally different from like in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different. For one, you don't
Totally.
know what side you playing on, but yet you want to be in a relationship. What's up with that?
Hey, you just said something. You don't know what side you playing on. Oh boy.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know what side you want to be on, but you want to be in a relationship. Come on now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Pick a side, man. Pick a side. You know what I mean? Whatever
Thank
it
you.
is.
Thank you.
I ain't got no. I ain't judging nobody, but pick a side. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody.
yeah.
That's between you and God.
Facts.
But they don't understand what relationships really are. It's
No.
more of in the meantime something to do.
Yeah.
People can't live their life like that.
No, you can't live your
They
life like
can't.
that. You know, when
Uh-uh.
it's like, for us that, that lived in that era, man, the 90s was just, I think people are going to talk about the 90s type of love for like, they're going to talk about it forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because 90s love, man, it was, to me, it was probably one of the most realest things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I love growing up, being a 70s baby raised in the 80s and got to experience what the 90s was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Because,
right.
man, I learned a lot of my fundamental and foundation things that I needed to do. I guess that's why I'm such a person who, even when love doesn't work and love gives up on me, I still go back for love. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, I know it's still there. I put in some
Mm-hmm.
additional work and effort into it. Oh, but it's nothing like that 90s, man. It was, beatbox in the rain. It was song lyrics. You know what I'm saying? It
Yep.
Come
was
on. dancing in the sand,
dancing in the sand. You know what
falling
I'm
with bare
saying?
clothes on, talking about you in love and
You
being
know,
in love for real.
Right.
yeah. You know, you had to have
Happy.
that May Woo. You had to have that
Oh,
May Woo in
yes.
there. You know, if you didn't have a May Woo in the song, you know, if you wasn't clenching the, you know, that 90s was like a passionate time.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. When
I don't
music meant
think
something.
it meant something, man. So here's the next point, right? When we're talking about, you know, Love Jones type of love, poetry, passion, and vulnerability. You know, back then, you know, I wish that it would come more present into the future. That, you know what I'm saying, we would have more of that type of connection with each other, you know, where people have, let me see who's that. Where people will have that artistic expression, you know, as a love
Mm-hmm.
language. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people even understand what an artistic expression is. Um, you know, that creativity that's inside of people that fuels the connection. You know, like people was really in tune with themselves, you know, and
Right.
it brought out so much creativity. You know, it was the thing of like, you know, and I still, you know, I still can remember so many times. You know, it's like with my wife. You know, I still did things like a '90s type of love where, you know, when we first was getting together, you know, I was doing the rose petals, you know what I'm saying? And setting up the house, having a candle, you know, something very simple, cooking dinner and just, you know, the whole romance part of it. You know what I mean? That came from the '90s, man. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's the artistic expression. Um and when you got that poetry, passion, and vulnerability, the beauty plus the danger of loving someone who inspires you deeply. That that Love Jones love is inspiration. You inspire each other. You push each other to like really do more, do better, be great. You know, it's not just you do me, and I'll just do me. How it is today.
Mm-hmm.
That Love Jones
Right.
love is, yo, I'm gonna push you to be great. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make you step. You know, not so much make you, you know, step it up, but I'm gonna keep encouraging you. You know, I'm not gonna have these certain set expectations. I'm gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be your partner. I'm gonna be your helpmate. You know, I think a lot of that has faded in today's time. Just my opinion. You know, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a guy who been through some things. You know, who
Man,
got a
I was,
thought?
where did that go? It's like it just went out the window, no more.
Yeah, yeah. It was like 1 minute it was here, man. The next minute it's gone. You know, next minute is gone, man. And you know, I think a lot of us could, you know, like when I sit here and I listen to sis say, I'm single. I look at Lady E, she said, I'm single. You know, I listen to that and I'm like, where is that 90s? Where are them brothers that was in the 90s that was, you know, singing in the rain? That's what you need.
Mm.
The one that will go, you know, go way beyond the norm to make sure that they showed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they at? You know what I'm saying? Where them cats at? You know, and the
I
same
don't.
thing
I
for
don't
the
think
for the
they have
ladies,
anybody
man.
that's leading by example anymore.
No, no, man. You know, it's only a few of us left that know how to still show it. But even though we can show it, man, we're in a microwave society. Everybody
Mm.
wants everything quick. They don't want to put in the work, the
Mm-hmm.
effort.
Right. They don't want to put in the work.
No. So as soon as you have an uncomfortable conversation, they run.
Yep. And these kids nowadays, they mind ain't right.
Mm-mm.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, it starts at home.
Yeah.
And if I hear one more thing about a YN,
YN.
Oh my
The
God.
YNs. The YNs, boy. Hey, I don't know what to say about them YNs. I
I
was
just
laughing at
don't.
my brother saying that today. He said, man, I pulled up to the Quick Trip, man. There was a whole bunch of little YNs sitting out there, about 10 of them, sitting up there on their little orange Charger. So,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because it was like when me and Next Level met, I
Talk it.
was.
Talk
Shut up.
about it, baby. Talk
Shut
about it.
up. I wasn't looking for anybody.
mm-hmm.
It was like he was sent to me out of the blue. I mean, it was to the point where you know that Deborah Cox song, "How Did You Get Here?"
Get
Ooh.
you
That was
get
like my anthem for him.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Talk
Hey,
your talk.
hey,
Talk your
go
talk.
for it. Talk it, man. Come on. Come on.
Because I told her, I said, now this is the weird thing. She knows my father's whole side of the family, but we never met before. Like she know my cousins, my grandmother, my aunts, uncles, everybody on my father's side of the family, but we never met.
Mm-hmm.
And when I met her, I met her at my grandmother's house. And when she came in the house, it was like this. I know this is corny, but she had this glow around her when she came in. And I was just sitting there with my mouth open. I was like, who is this? And then when she walked past, I said, oh yeah, I got to get her
Whatever.
number.
He trying to get some, Marley.
Hey, I'm tuning in.
Nah, I'm
Let's
just
put it
messing
like
around.
they tell the truth on everything you love.
Yeah, it's true.
When did I ask you to marry me?
Huh?
Keita, welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, let's go. Come on with the love story, man. We like to hear it.
I said, when was the first time I asked you to marry me?
The day we met, you said I was gonna be your wife,
There it is. Talk about it.
and my Brooklyn attitude was like, "What? I don't know you. Get out of here. You tripping?"
I said, you might as well go ahead and give me a kiss right now because we about to get married.
Ooh.
what?
We sure did.
Well, there it is.
It is Brooklyn.
Hey,
Ooh.
look, claim it, man. Claim it, man. That you know, it's funny for those of y'all that don't know. Um, my story. I don't know if I ever even shared how my wife and I got together, man. But I'll tell y'all the story, right? So my wife was my best friend of 20 some odd years. Um, right,
Wow.
and I never looked at her like that. I never looked at her like that. My sister tell you, I ain't never look at her like that, right? And I watched her go through, her life things and life struggles, marriage and before and whatnot. She watched me go through it. But we all, man, that was like, during that time, my mindset was, yo, this is like my sister. This is like my little sister. I mean, I met her when she was 17. We was working at,
Mm-hmm.
we both was working at the Quick Trip in Lithonia, Georgia, on Panola Road. And she was just such a little girl back then. And they used to try to have her in the cooler to go fill up the cooler. And I'm like, she in there freezing. And so I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, nah, man, I got that. And it was never, anything. I never seen her any other way. And we always was
Uh-huh.
cool. And her husband at the time, he's now passed away. Um, they got divorced, but he passed away and whatnot. And me and him was cool. It was cool. Everything. Life, life just kept lifing, and we both went up to a point where it was a point when we both became single at the same time, which was something that never happened throughout our whole the whole time we known each other. We never were single at the same time. And I remember coming out to Houston, uh, and I told her, I said, "You're gonna be my wife," and she said, "No." She told me flat out. She said, "Nope, I am not gonna be with you because you are my best friend, and I don't want to ruin my friendship." And I said, "Uh huh, sure." I said, "Okay," but I'm persistent. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I'm that
Right.
'90s guy. I said, "Okay." I respected what she said. That was in December of 2018. Then then May of 2019 is her birthday, and I said, "Hey, what you got planned for your birthday?" She said, "Nothing." I said, "All right, cool." So I flew her down. I was still in Atlanta at the time. I flew her to Atlanta. I took off like 4 or 5 days. I flew her down. We drove down to Florida, all of these things. And it gave her an opportunity to see me. Because even with her coming, it was, nah, we just friends. We just coming to hang out. But I had everything laid out. And when she walked in the house and seeing how, that '90s type of love that we talking about, where I had the rose petals from the door to everywhere, she was like, "Oh, he's serious. You know what I'm saying?" And it blew her mind. Had everything set up, and I wish Courtney was on here. If Coco was on here, she was the one that went to the house and ended up setting everything up, trying to help me get it all situated. But nevertheless, it gave her an opportunity to see me different, and she said, "Okay, I see you now." And I was so intentional about that Love Jones type of love, and it still goes to this day that when we made it official, man, less than a year later we were married. I wasn't playing.
Wow.
Less than a year we was married. I was not playing. Like when I said you the one and done. I'm done. This is it. I'm good now. I got my person. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that know me will know will say, "Yeah, he got his person." My sister tell you, "Oh, he got his person." Like,
Hands down.
hands
That's his
down, man.
that's his boo
Yes.
thing. For sure.
So, but
Okay.
oh,
Oh, I got
Peter,
a
that's
little
all
Love
right.
Jones story.
It was a Love Jones story. It was how me and my wife, you know, how we became what we became. But don't worry, Keita. I'll tell you. I'll call you and tell you later. But Keita, do you got a story? Let me see. Lady E coming on. You still working? What? It's why you still at work? Selling all them bands? um. Oh, Lady E came up. Machine. All right. Who else? So who else got a story?
Said she worked from home. The lady
Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. Uh-uh.
Ah, gotcha.
I got my little story, Carla. What is it?
Huh?
I said I could tell my little story.
Wait, man. Ain't no such thing as a little story. Everything's big. Go ahead. You big guy. Tell the big story at this big age.
So, of course, I run pretty much everything. I guess y'all all figured out how close I am to her and my sister. So, uh,
Ow.
I met my
Yeah.
when she was moving in the apartment. She didn't even know
You low, buddy.
Hello?
Yeah.
What happened?
Okay,
We
you better
couldn't
now.
hear you.
Oh, that's all right, cause I got to do this. So y'all go ahead. Don't worry about me. It does.
No, we
Mine
can
don't
hear
matter
you
no
now.
way.
We want to hear
Yeah,
your
because I
story.
came over to the phone. That's why. And
Oh,
besides,
gotcha, gotcha.
mine didn't make it to forever anyways. So it's all good. Y'all go ahead.
Oh,
Hmm?
You'll get input, Joe.
okay. So I have a story, but it didn't make it to forever. So I was on 138 in Stockbridge, Georgia, and I was washing my car. And me and my homegirl, we were washing our car about maybe 15 years ago. I was all young and fit and all that stuff. So I was like down cleaning my tires. After it goes through the little drive-through thing, you get your free vacuum, and then you wipe down the insides and wipe your tires.
Hmm.
And so this BMW pulls up next to me, child. Oh my gosh.
Coco, welcome in.
And so I'm squatted down cleaning out my tires. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how you feel somebody looking at you, and I'm like, okay. But I didn't see anybody. And so then I went to the other side, which was close to his car, the front passenger right tire, and I'm, doing my tire. And so my homegirl was like, hey boo, I'm finna go. I was like, okay girl, see you later. We was gonna change up and go do lunch. Because we worked out and then washed our cars. And so I get in my car and I get this knock, knock, knock on my passenger window. And I'm like, I put it down like this much because, people be snatching folks out of cars and all that stuff. And I wasn't trying to fight. I was tired. So dude was like, um, he was like, hey, Miss Lady, something about you beautiful, something. I forgot because we didn't last either 33 big guy, but I'm sharing my story. And so, he was like, can I take you for dinner? I'm from Atlanta. Take me for dinner? Like you finna eat me for dinner? Like he's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn too. So I was like, what you talking? You want to take me out to dinner?
Ow.
Anyways, I didn't say all of that. I was thinking it in my head. Gave him my little card, my little business card through the crack. And we had been talking off and on for years. So he was a driver as well. And it was just like anytime we saw each other, it was just chemistry. Like I would try to not talk to him because I was like, you on the road, you probably got a family in Mississippi, Alabama, New York. He was over the road. And but every time he came back, he was like, wherever you been all my life, you gonna be my wife and da da da. But it was me. Like I was like, I could definitely not trust it for some reason. And because you hear all these rumors about truck drivers and stuff like that. So what was in my head was already engraved, like, don't get serious with this guy. But he just kept coming back. Mind
Mm-hmm.
you, like I said, it was about 15, 16 years ago. Last time I talked to this young man was maybe March of this year, I believe. And I haven't spoken to him since March of this year. But from 15 something years ago to now,
Wow.
um, he just kept coming back, kept coming back. So I would block him. He was not on social media, but he would find me and get my number and just keep coming back. To this day, I have his house address, and I'm not going up there. But um, yeah, it's don't laugh at me, do not. But I told him I was like,
Nah, you like, hey, you like, look, I ain't going up there. Mm-mm.
the reason is because like I don't want to mess anything up because of the limitations that I have in my mind. And I told him, if he ever gets out of that truck, maybe we can try it again. But because of that, I'm gonna always have that thing in the back of my mind that he's not loyal or something. So I would not be 100% myself in it. But when I tell you like romance, that 90s kind of love, R&B music, was there, would drive me, take me to dinner, always told me how beautiful I was. No body shaming, like helped me build my confidence. Um, just like to talk, and we just like to be together. It was so amazing.
I'm sitting here and I'm hearing you talk about it. I think you and I have had this conversation about this before, but I don't think we really jumped into it.
Hmm.
Sounds like a pretty good guy.
Yeah, but I never met his mother either. He kept saying, "I want you to meet my mother," and all these years he wouldn't take me. So, also with that being said, like he would say, "Oh, I'm scheduling lunch for you guys," and it would never happen. It was a lot of red flags as well, um,
Mm.
because yeah, it was a lot. I can't go into all of that, but it was just me and him. It was just always what the kids say now, a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like
Yeah.
electric. Remember in one of your podcasts you said it's about the longevity of it, not the intensity of that
Yeah.
instance.
Yeah.
So it was very passionate and intense in the moment, but once it left, it was like ghost. Sometimes he wouldn't return or whatever. So yeah, it sounds good. The times we were together, like I said, was electric. But I don't think it was for a longevity.
It was a convenience or an ego stroke.
Maybe for both of us.
Hey, I mean, I think we all at times like to have our ego stroked. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna do something that's convenient. May not want to cook
Yeah.
the, because a lot of times I think, a lot of times we're not ready for certain commitments, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's perfectly fine. Because I mean, I was at a point one time where I didn't want no commitment. I just wanted to, you know. So Coco said, "Why meet his mom if you knew you weren't uh going to be serious?"
Well, we were going to be, which is why I was going to meet his mom, and he kept scheduling lunches and saying we're going to go to brunch. I want you to meet my mother. So I was wanting to be serious. However, when things started to look sketchy or the consistency started having gaps and things like that, those pre oh my gosh, pre y'all know what I'm saying, for something notions or whatever that
Oh,
was in the
preconceived
back of my
notions.
mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When that started to happen, I was like, okay, it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna be serious. So I was setting myself up so that I did not get hurt.
I got you.
In the beginning, we were very, very serious. We were very like into it. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a long story, but the thing is Marlon wanted us to share like '90s kind of love type situation. So that was the
Yeah.
theme. That's why I shared that type of story.
Yeah. Because the topic for tonight, for anybody that's just joining us, is a Love Jones kind of love, when chemistry feels like poetry. I can't say it's strictly down to a certain age. Those who have seen Love Jones understand the type of love that Lorenz Tate and Nia Long displayed in that movie. And that's that type of love, that '90s type of love. So that's what we kind of just going through, kind of sharing some stories and stuff, man. For people who have, that has never experienced it, but or maybe didn't understand. Keita, I'm taking your whole black card.
Taking your black card, Keita.
Oh, Keita,
That's a
you know
that's
what?
a that's that's a classic.
Mm,
Hold on, wait.
mm,
Have you seen Poetic Justice, Keita? Or
mm,
Please
Love
say
and
yes.
Basketball or something like that?
mm.
I'm trying to help you, girl. I'm trying to help you. Don't
Hold
take her
up.
black card.
Hold up. Let me see. Let me see if her black guard gonna stay. Cause you know what I'm gonna do?
See?
I'm gonna invite her up on this
Recently.
panel.
See, she said yes recently. She's still at work, so she can't come on the
Oh, she can't.
panel.
That's right. She's still at work. That's right. Ooh,
Yeah.
you lucky.
You just
You know
made it.
what? I'm a call Keita after this right here. We don't have a whole
Oh no.
conversation.
Oh, she said she done. Come
Oh,
on,
you
Kita.
done
Come
now?
on.
So, oh, you come on up. Let me see. I sent her one because see now when we finish this podcast, that's your task for tonight. Welcome up, Keita.
Mhm.
Your task for tonight when this
Yeah, I got
podcast
to
is
see
over,
what
go
Peter
watch
say.
Love Jones.
Okay. Maybe tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow. I'll do that.
Okay. And then I'm gonna call you and say what you think. You're gonna be like, damn, that's what they talking about.
I know, right? No, I just saw
Word.
Poetic Justice like maybe 4 years ago. No kidding.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Love and basketball.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay. Okay.
What
Okay.
about soul food before it got messy?
Soul food, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Look, man, it's some. How about Jason's lyric?
No.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That Jason's lyric, boy. Woo! Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. So you writing
Yeah, I
that
got some
down?
homework to
Jason's
do.
lyric. You
I
got some.
got you.
Yeah.
I hear y'all. I hear y'all. I hear y'all.
Yeah. You got some grace though. You seen Love and Basketball. You know, I'm gonna play for your heart. Yeah. That's what's up, man. So yeah, so we basically sharing, those stories. I mean, and honestly, Keita, you up there with us. You got a little big age on you. You know, you up there where they at. You ain't old as me.
Dang.
All right, you
Way
ain't
to
old as
throw
me.
up. Bro. Way to throw up.
Dang.
No,
minute.
I'm saying she has some maturity. You know what I'm saying? She's not. You ain't 20,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
No.
You know,
Just had our 20-year high school reunion last weekend.
there you go. And I just had my 30th.
See, you got me. You got me right there.
So let me go. Let me go and say that I had to have my 30-year class reunion. So yeah. Damn. Anywho, but that I mean that 90 type of love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that when you especially for you, Kitty, when you get ready to see it, you can be like, oh, okay, I see why he kind of harped on that one. But it's that poetic type of love, you know. It's like a poetic justice type of love, you know what I'm saying? Where it was more than just it was a lot of intention behind that type of love. It was actions. It was the words matched the actions. When they said it was going to do something, they did it. You know, that's that 90s type of love, you know? Yeah. Got a question. Here's another question. Can two people love each other deeply without ever making it official?
No.
Yes.
I like that. Somebody said yes, somebody said no.
I know. Who want to go
Yes.
first?
Not kidding.
All right, listen, first
All
rules
right.
of debate. You gotta pick a stance and then we have to be ready to debate it.
All
Let's
right.
go.
I love a debate.
Brooklyn Bay, you said, what was your response?
No.
I say yes.
Okay. So, Brooklyn Bay, why do you say no?
I feel like if you in love with somebody, that's a commitment. If you can't put a commitment on somebody that you truly love, that's not setting no type of boundaries. So it's like you might be committed today, but tomorrow, let's see what else is out there to see if you still got it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, I say
We hear you
yes
talk.
because, just because I'm in love with you doesn't mean I'm right for you, right? Like, and vice versa. I could be super toxic. My triggers, my traumas, my wounds could cause me to not treat you like I should. But that doesn't discount the way I feel for you. And I shouldn't want to hold on to you to keep you from truly finding your happiness in somebody that treats you better just because I love you.
Snap, 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 clap, 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 clap.
Oh, that was good,
That was
Steve.
whew.
Come
Okay.
on, Keita.
Ooh.
Come on, Lady E. Oh, I'm glad Keita got off work.
And I agree with her. I think you could as well, because it just may be some things about the person that you just cannot live with. For instance, like my first, every like he just didn't, he couldn't do no wrong because I only knew him. And then finally, when I had somebody else, I knew, I was like, oh yeah, I couldn't be with him for the rest of my life, because I mean, it just wasn't enough. So, and I'm talking about sexually. So, yeah. But I love that man to death, down, would do anything for him. But yeah, it wasn't gonna work.
Ooh, Lady E. Don't be mad at me, but I think you was lusting. I don't think that was love. Because baby, you can't compare love. Love does not come similar. I don't. This is my personal opinion. I agree with Brooklyn, Babe for Life, and I see the perspective of Keita as well. But yeah, 'cause love comes in different forms.
It does, it does. But even to this day, like we're good friends, but I just know that, I just couldn't be with them.
I understand that.
I get it. I yo. That's, all right. Well, we thought that was a question. Wait for this next one.
Uh-oh.
What's more powerful? The love that stays or the love that lingers?
Hmm.
Ooh.
Hold on, stays or lingers?
The love that stays or the love that lingers? Stay
Stays
and
is more
linger are two
powerful.
different things.
Exactly.
Exactly. So which one is more powerful?
Stays.
Stay.
Okay. I'm actually going to disagree. I'm going to say the one that lingers.
Why you say that?
I said the one that lingers because
Mhm.
it's a reason why whoever is allowing that person to linger around, that means they got something that's within that love that is just allowing it to happen. So to allow something to happen that's just lingering there and just it's just always like it's dangling in your face, boom, 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 and you just can't let it go. I think that's one of those things when people say you got an itch that you just got to keep scratching. That's an itch that just keeps scratching.
Be
If it's
careful,
already
Marlon.
there,
You somewhat
stay.
talking to me. Be
Huh?
careful. I said, be careful. You somewhat talking to me.
Hey, look, man. Look, speak your mind on it, brother. That's how. I mean, I just think that lingering love is more powerful because I look at growing up, right? I seen old heads go through so much with each other and still come back. Matter of fact, let me show you that lingering love is that 5 heartbeats type of love. Look
Mhm.
how much um, Eddie Kane and old girl went through.
Yeah.
That's a lingering type of love. But the end result was it turned into a stay type of love.
Right. I was about to say.
So that's why I think lingering love is more powerful than stay love. Stay love is like, all right, I'm here. Cool. It doesn't, there's, and I'm trying to be cautious with my words because I'm not saying it's that stay love is bad. I'm saying stay love is, it gets to a point where stay love is stagnant. It doesn't have the excitement at times, but that lingering love always brings something excitement to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Toxicity.
Yes.
I think that stay love requires work though, because people change throughout the course of time, and a lot of times if you have the appropriate boundaries set up, it won't be stagnant. You know what I mean? Both people will be consistently working towards growth and evolution. Uh, I think
I,
Lingering
I,
is lazy love, if you will. Like I'm there because there's obviously an attraction. I'm just gonna stay here to be nosy, right? Like, yeah, you did better than me. I just want to be nosy. Watch your growth. Watch your come up. But I'm not actively involved in who you are as a person. I have no idea. Actually, if I'm lingering, I'm not actively involved in your life, so I have no idea who you are. That's not real
Mm,
love.
mm. Let's see, Coco says she agree. Which one do you agree with, Coco? Marcus, welcome in. Welcome in. Everybody joining us, man, make sure you guys are grabbing that Daily Heart Me at the top. This is the 100 podcast. Topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry. What you got, big guy?
Mm.
just mentioned, you know,
I don't know. I
lingering
think.
love.
Okay.
I feel like lingering love is you have the option to be on or off.
Hey, you low, big guy.
Oh man, I don't know what. Okay,
All right, now I can
all
hear
right.
you.
I said, lingering love is kind of like a lazy love. Like, you can be on or off. You don't have to be, what you're supposed to be, which is that other person's significant other. Um, whether being, in a relationship, in boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, married, whatever, what have you. You know, what was the other one? Lasting love or
No, stay.
stay love? I mean, that kind of, to me, that kind of speaks about it in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I mean, I guess just to say that for lack of better words.
I got you. So in other words, do we feel like stay love is committed love and lingering love is uncommitted?
Yes.
Yeah. Because lingering love is like you there for a particular reason. They love you there for it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look. I
I like how you put that, sexy.
Hey, look. I love how next level gonna make sure he give her shout out. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. But no, I definitely can understand all perspectives of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, the other part of lingering love, I think, is that lingering love is that love that's like they've been hurt. They've been hurt and they're afraid of being hurt again. But they want it. I think it's a strong love. They want it, and that's why it's still lingering around, but they're afraid. They're afraid of being hurt. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I mean, I see that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
All right.
I can see that.
I got another question. Have you ever had a relationship that felt right but didn't work because of timing?
Mm-hmm.
Like the timing just wasn't there.
Like the timing, what?
Have you ever had a relationship that felt right? Like everything about it felt so good and you wanted it, but the timing wasn't right for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to hear that from a man because a lot of men say, "Oh, I got to get my money right," or I'm starting this business and I need to stay focused." And they can have the perfect female there that could. They love to say a woman that help me or whatever, the person that drives
Mm-hmm.
the vision, or the man is the one that has the vision, but they'll keep the blessings. Um, they always quote, "A man that findeth the wife findeth the good thing," but the very thing that helps you is what you'll push to the side to say it's not the right time. So I want to hear the perspective of a man.
You know, I give my part of it. So part of my story that I didn't put in the story was I take it back to 2014, where the timing wasn't right. And the timing wasn't right because it was at that moment when I was single. I remember taking a trip because I was flying out here to Houston to bring my daughter out here to put some flowers and, let her see her other side of the family, put some flowers on her grandmother who had just passed grave. So, of course, my best friend, who is now my wife, lives here. And I was like, hey, let's go grab dinner, boom, boom, boom. So we went, had lunch. I think we had lunch. And I said that I told her in 2014, because at that time I was single. I said, what do you think about us? And she said, well, she is just going through like a separation from her husband. Actually got divorced, but they were talking about trying to work it out. And I said, man, I guess our timing just ain't right, and I sat back and I was like, I think about it to this day. What if would have happened if we would have made it back then? If it would have happened back then, where would we be now? And I think the timing, and I think it was on God's timing. It wasn't for us to be together at that point. I think the timing was not on our side. I think we both had a lot of growing and maturing to do that we didn't realize that we had to do. And sometimes timing is not a bad thing. I think a lot of times we might look at timing and we think it's a bad thing. Oh man, I'm about to miss it. But 2014, I thought, oh, I missed my chance, because I actually ended up getting married. That was short lived, but I needed to go through that particular experience to help me realize the growth that I needed to make in myself. Didn't realize it, didn't accept it, but I had to accept it after the fact. And it was like, oh, I needed to grow some more, right? So I think in my story, the timing ended up being a good thing that worked in my favor. Because I still won in the end. Well, how about you guys? You ever had that relationship that felt right but didn't work because of timing?
I say maybe. I don't. I don't know. I think the scenario for me was that talking to a gentleman, and we got to a point where we wanted a relationship, and we were getting ready to, take that step. But then there was a death on his side of the family, and then he became a new person.
Mm.
So I had to
So
step
you had
away.
a situation, so it's a circumstance that happened that changed, where he was at.
Yeah.
Coco, welcome up, welcome up.
What's up, bro?
What do you do, man? What's going on, Miss White?
Nothing much. Hubby's on his way home.
All right, cool. You see Miss Keto over there.
Hey, Marquita.
Hey, Courtney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I think for me personally, there was a particular past relationship I was in with a guy after my divorce from my ex-husband. And I was convinced for a long time that him and I were supposed to be together. But when we kind of rekindled after we had already broken up, I started to see that he didn't have any real growth in him by himself, if that makes sense. Like I felt like I left him right where he was. And that didn't make me feel good. It made me feel like you needed somebody to help continue to push you along.
I got
But
you.
I still saw good positives in him, but it felt like it would be me constantly coaching and pushing them along to be the husband that I would need them to be. And I'm glad I didn't push in that direction any further, and I have the husband that I have now.
Okay. Hey, that's called growth, man. I love it. That's growth.
Yeah,
That's
because see,
called
that was
awareness.
like that lingering love, like that lingering, like it's like, oh, I still feel like I want you or something, or I still feel like I could have a conversation with you. But Larian was that staying love. Like, no matter what we went through, he would never leave. I'm
Nah, my
laughing
boy
about it,
wasn't
but I'm
going
saying
nowhere.
like he was going to
Welcome in,
fight for
Carmela.
us harder than I was for sure. He was gonna fight. So, and I had never, not that I had never experienced that, but I'm someone who's always used to running. So when things got rough or I didn't like something, the easy way out for me is just to run and make a new life. And Laren wasn't going for it. So we joke about it now, but he would always say, well, you can't run from me now, or I'm not popping up on you anymore because you're always here now. So, but yeah, he's definitely that staying love.
Yeah.
I thought lingering love was what made it felt the best because it's something spontaneous. It's something, hot, but it's not the best for you in the long run. It's not the best for commitment.
I think you explained that very well. That lingering love is, like you said, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lingering love is exciting because it's like that shiny new piece of jewelry that you got. It's so pretty, it's nice, but I don't have to commit to it. You know what I mean? I get that. Um, so everybody that's just joining us, man, this is the 100 podcast. Topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love. When chemistry feels like poetry. Um, we're going through some questions, sharing some stories, man. But this is how we all grow. This is how we learn from things. So I got another question. What's harder to move from? The person you loved or the version of yourself you were with them? I'm going to read it one more time. What's harder to move from? The person you loved or the version of yourself you were with them?
So I guess I'll start. I think for me, in the scenario that I shared early, or that was a real life situation, I went through different changes. So the person that I was different each time the person would come back into my life. So I think it was just moving beyond the person, because I would literally pray and be like, God, I don't want to call this person, or I would delete the person, but I would block them first. This is how strong my block game is. So this is how you do it. First of all, you block them on everything while you still have them. After you block them, then you delete it. But while you're deleting, you have to go through all of the messages and delete the numbers, the voicemails, and everything. So every contact that's in your device is gone. So you can't reach out. And nowadays people don't remember phone numbers like we used to back in the day. So that should help you not to be able to reach out when you don't have the like bandwidth to have that restraint to not reach out on your own. But that's how you cut it off. And it's crazy because after I did that, the person would still come back. So I would have to just say that, removing yourself from the person. And I think that's what happens. This may go off on another tangent, but I want to throw it out there. I think that's what happens when people are in abusive relationships, men and women, because in the beginning they were a strong person and never thought that would happen to them. When they got into the abuse or whatever, they became weak. And then the next thing is when the person started to like try to build them up again, their strength was gone, but they were vulnerable. So they're different. They're the same person at different stages in their life, but it's the person that they have to get away from so that they can rebuild who they actually are, because the strength never left them. It's not bad to be vulnerable, but it's wrong for somebody to take advantage of all those things that are in you that are supposed to be used for good. So for me, my answer is the hardest part is getting away from that other person.
Man, wow. That's, I don't know. I'm speechless on that one.
She really made me just kind of like have a playbook on the history of my life in my adulthood and just how I was with BJ, my
Yeah.
ex-husband, and watching how like before we met, I felt like that girl. Like I had always felt like that girl. But when I got with him, it's like I needed his approval to feel even more powerful because he had a way of making me feel like I was untouchable. And once that chemistry started to die down, I wasn't the same Coco anymore. Like I have literally gone back through my pictures from those years and watched how I transformed from being so happy to just like, I don't know who this girl is. Like you could see the stress, the heartbreak in my eyes. You could see it in my skin. Everything was different. And then like the moment finally decided it was time to go, because it took me a couple of times. I could see the glow coming back. And I even have a Snapchat video where I was like recording, talking to myself, saying like, oh my God, I can really see myself glowing. He's going to hate me now.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got from up under that spell, like I felt like I was under a spell for years.
Welcome in, Alice. Welcome in, sis.
And now it's just so easy to exist and find myself again. But it took so long. So I would say for me, it was worried about the person I was while I was in that, not necessarily the love itself.
I got you. Man, profound. Man, listen to both of you guys. Man, thank you both for sharing that in those thoughts, man. That was a very vulnerable moment, I can tell from both of you guys, and actually everybody that's been on here, sharing some vulnerability moments, But for everybody that's just joining us, topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry, inspired from that 1997 classic Love Jones. Got a few questions. Hey, Alice, I appreciate it, sis. I appreciate it. I got a question. Here's another one. Well, let me throw out a point though. Of the risk of loving deep without definition. When you move like love, but don't name it. Emotional availability versus emotional convenience. How long do you stay in the gray area? Is there a time limit to stay in a gray area?
So I guess I'll kick this part off again. I like to share stories. So let's just say, for instance, bro, I'm in the car, I'm leaving Atlanta, and I'm driving all the way to Houston, right? And my homegirl has a baby in it. And so you all know babies are going to poop eventually. So you change the diaper in the car. We're not, because the adults don't have to go to the restroom. And, oh, somebody has feedback. Okay. So you're driving along and you realize that, you know, the baby has pooped in the diaper. So you change the diaper, you keep going, put the baby back in the car seat, give it a bottle or whatever. And poop diapers from babies are funky, right? So as you're driving along, eventually we have to stop and get gas on our way to Texas. The driver gets out to pump the gas. And when you get out of the situation, you're like, how they sitting in that car still? It stinks in there. But they don't realize it stinks because they're still in the funk, right? They've been driving in it for hours until we stop to get gas. And so what happens is you say to the passenger or somebody else in the car, and be like, hey, go inside and get some snacks. And when they finally get out of it, they come back to the car and open the door and say, oh my gosh, did somebody throw that stinking diaper out? It stinks in there. But when you realize it or look at the picture from the outside looking in, everybody was in that funk. And the only people that realized that the situation was a stinky situation were the people that actually got out. Some people that are in it, they don't know that it's a funky situation until somebody with a different perspective from the outside looking in can help them see it or can say it to them, because they're in a vulnerable spot to where they can receive what they're saying so they can get out and change. So that they can oh my gosh, yeah. So that they can see that they need to change or get out of that situation themselves. So that's the little story I want to share about that.
Nah, I love that, man. Anybody want to comment on that story? I love that. I think the story itself told itself. I don't really have a comment on that one.
No, it was self-explanatory. Like, for
Yeah.
real, get out the funk.
Right. Get out the funk, right?
Get out the funk.
So here I got another good question coming up, right? Has someone ever inspired a level of love in you that scared you? Has someone ever inspired a level of love in you that scared you? I tell you, Next Level said his wife, you know, don't worry, it's coming, sis. Godmother just came in. You know, I'll take it. Honestly, I can take it back to my ex-wife. All right, let me let Godmother in right quick. You know, welcome in, Godmother. I'm gonna give you the highlight in just a second. And my ex-wife inspired a love where it was different. You know, and honestly, it did scare me because you never will ever. I never thought I would end up feeling the way that I felt, where I felt like, this wasn't necessarily a good thing. It was, I felt like I always had to prove something. You know, I felt like everything I did was good to a certain extent. And the end result was it inspired me to know more about myself, and the type of love that I had to give just wasn't to her. If that makes any sense to anybody. I think Coco will know a lot about that too. Tay will know, you know, those who've been there, Alice will know. You know, it was that type of love where it was like, it scared me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. why am I loving you like this hard, and then it doesn't come back to you, and you find yourself keep trying and trying and trying, but it inspired you to be a different person. It inspired you to really. It inspired me to be honest with myself. You know what I mean? Yes, it held me accountable. And whew, I hate, that's big guy word right there, accountability. So
I love it.
that accountability, man. And it was at a point in my life where I didn't want to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? But I needed to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? And I needed to be accountable to that point because I needed to have some truths in the whole conversation with myself to get me where I needed to be. You know what I mean? I recognized at that point, God was working on me at that time. I was at work and didn't realize. I thought had it all figured out, but nope. Nope, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was my moment. um, if anybody don't have anything else,
I do.
Go ahead, Brooklyn Bay.
Next level was a love that scared me. I was a daddy's girl. And when it was like, that was my world. So it was like he could do no wrong, you know. Um, and when he passed, it was like I was broken. And it was like I went to like this awkward stage where it was like I didn't allow myself to love anybody. And then when he came along, I was still in that awkward phase with like I had a wall built up, and he just kept, chipping at the wall, and I kept building it back up, And it was like eventually I trusted him with my heart. And it was like it just changed everything. He allowed me to love again.
Man, that man, that's huge. For someone to come into your life, and I understand the whole thing about a daddy's girl and everything. Um, for someone to put that much into you, to allow you to really be the essence of who you are, and to say, you know, you can love, and you're gonna get love. You can be loved. You're gonna get the love back. I'm gonna love you in the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's huge, because to be loved properly, man, let me tell you. And when you talk about a daddy's love, I look at that a lot, because I look at with my daughters, man, and I know they go through their relationships and all of that stuff or whatever, but ultimately, that the love that they got from their dad is a love that's just, it's a comparison love. You know what I'm saying? Where you're gonna look for this person, even though you try hard not to necessarily have somebody that was like your dad, but once you get it, you realize how much you really needed that and love it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, yeah. If you was, able to have that, wow, man. Godmother. Topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry. Everybody knows the 1997 Love Jones, and we know how Lorenz Tate and Nia Long was portrayed in that movie, and how that love that they had, and how and you know how he um, how he pursued her. Man, you know what, Godmother? We already had Keto on here talking about she didn't see it. Yo, go. Yo, I don't care what day you off. You need to go watch Love Jones. Keto, I'm sorry. I apologize. I had to bring that in. Coco, you already know that poetic type of love. So,
No, not the godmother.
No,
right?
no,
I
I
am
never.
disappointed.
How? I don't really watch TV.
OMG.
No, I don't even watch TV.
We
Oh,
got to take another
girl.
card.
Yeah, I'm one of them. So yeah, no, and then to sit still for a movie, that was just I couldn't do it. Yeah, so I never watched it. My bad. Did I lose
That's
school?
black love, real love.
I mean, I was living black love, so I ain't really had to watch it on TV.
Okay, live it. I know that's right.
Hey, I can't even argue with that. If you lived it, then. Let's see. Kyoko's Place says, I already know about that Love Jones. Oh, brown sugar? Yes, brown sugar.
Yes.
All right, you good with me. Yeah.
Brown sugar. She
Good.
said, "What
Brown
about
sugar. Yeah.
who was in brown sugar? Did I see that one?
Yeah, brown sugar was
Nia Lathan and Tay Diggs.
yeah. Sanaa Lathan and Tay Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
That the one that was gonna get married, but they was gonna get married. She was cheating on him, or he was cheating on her, and then
Yeah.
she got lit back with a friend. Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sat still for that, huh?
Yeah, I saw that one a few times, as a matter of fact.
So I got one more. I'm gonna do one more question. Do love without labels? We're gonna go back to that label one again. Do love without labels create freedom or confusion?
It creates clarity.
Okay.
That's what it creates.
Tell me more.
Yeah. These titles, we gotta have a title. We gotta have a title. Because with the title becomes is a responsibility and action, so much too much is given, much is required. So I think a lot of times that things get mixed up because they don't have a title, so they're doing everything. That some things is in your zone and some things is not in your zone. So yeah, that's what titles do. They give you clarity. And whenever somebody says, "Oh, we don't have to have titles for us to be in love," that's because they gaslighting you, and they and that's the okie doke. Because a man naturally, he's territorial. So anything he wants to make sure everybody knows that's his. And same thing with the woman. When in her true love, she's going to have a little bit of envy because, again, that's what the Proverbs 31 woman does. She builds her house with her hands. So, that's hers. That's a pride that a woman takes in certain things. So, yeah, that's what titles do. They give clarity. And you shouldn't accept nothing less.
Okay. Keita says she's agreed with that.
I dropped the mic. I never heard it.
Let's see. Kyoko's Place said could be a little bit of both. Okay. Let me see if she's in a position. I'm gonna send her an invite if she can come up because I like for her to elaborate on that. Thanks, honey. See, my wife always got my back, even when I ain't even looking. Come on. I lost my words. See how she finishes my sentences? I love that woman.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome in.
Thanks, Marlon.
Peace. All right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm in the car, so I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you. So your response was it could be a little bit of both. Tell us what you're thinking about with that.
I mean, I agree with what the godmother said. I was just thinking in terms of the type of relationship somebody has. So, if you are in a committed relationship and you do have those titles, it does kind of hold somebody to a standard and responsibility. Um, on the other side, I think in today's society where everything is so lax, and people want to be without those titles. And a lot of times they say that for the sake of freedom, right? But it does create a bit of confusion. And I say it creates confusion because women generally want to know where they stand with whoever it is that they are with. And depending on what type of brother it is, he may also want to know at some point where he stands. And if you don't have that clarity, it kind of leaves a lot of room for somebody to do something, and the other party is thinking, well, we're moving forward towards a relationship and commitment, while this other one is over here doing what it is that they want to do, and we don't have the label, so nothing is solidified. And so that kind of leaves that space for somebody to say, well, you know, we're not in a committed relationship. I never said you were my girlfriend, or I never said that, I was your boyfriend. So technically, I could do what I want to do, and you can do what you want to do. So it doesn't hold them to a specific standard. And I think sometimes people use that to justify the things that they do. So it could go, it could go either way.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like how the perspective of that, because I mean you're right. It can't, hearing how you put that so eloquently. Um, I can see how it can go both ways. You know what I mean? Anybody got something they want to add to that?
Well, well, again, she said basically the same thing. Like she said she's in agreement, and that's it. Mute yourself, mom. And it's the beautiful, and it's a thing because, like she said, real, and I say it all the time, which is when people are, when they're not clear, that always was going to cause confusion. And we talk about not having expectations, but also about having standards. So again, as opposed to a lot of times when people don't know, or they have standards, but standards for yourself. And then those standards, because you set yourself at a certain standard for what you will and how you will respond and react and show up in a situation, then that person, then can, well, you can make them earn, if you will. And that always, and every time I say that, people always thinks that I'm like, oh man, earn. But it's true. You have to allow a person to earn a position and a place and privileges and access to you. You know what I'm saying? To spending time with you, to hanging out with you, certainly to come to your house, and if you ever get to a point of intimacy, then definitely to that too. I think going along with what Kiyoko was saying was that, and this time is that so many people are just kind of loose, like they have no boundaries. It's just like we go out to dinner, we go out to dinner, we do this, we do that. You know, freaked you out, sucked you everywhere, linked him everywhere, and now you think in a relationship and you're not. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that should have been actually pulled back and held for someone who has earned the right to get those things, not, oh, well, we all grown. You know what I'm saying? We all grown, so, we do it grown folks too. No, that's not true. So, yeah, definitely agree with that 100%. When people have clarity and have standards for themselves and set boundaries, healthy boundaries, for them. And most of all, here's another thing: don't be afraid of peer pressure, and don't be afraid of, if be willing and be cool with a person walking away from you. Walking away. You set a standard, they don't like it, so guess what? They leave. That's okay. And if you haven't given any part of yourself, then it doesn't even hurt. You can just move right on. But only when you giving yourself in a way that that they did not earn, and then that happens. Then that's when a lot of people are actually hurt. So
Okay, I got you. Let's see. Flip says, "What's good, Flip?" Um, we talk. Is it possible to love two people at one time wholeheartedly?
no, that's not possible. to love some. I mean, you should love yourself and that other person. But if you're talking about two women and two men, no, that's crazy. Not when you really know what love is and what love means. Okay, so it's not. But like a lot of times, people again have the they like some situations, and people are so quick to throw around the L word as well as the F word, and the F word meaning friend. And these are things that again they take time. By the time you actually intimately get to know somebody, then how can you love more than one person? Because like you've said, even in your own examples with your wife, you just want to get to know that person. So how do we fall in love with two people? There's not. That's lust, and that's something that's selfish because it's some kind of need or desire that those people are bringing to them, and that's why they have it. And the biggest question is, in quote unquote said love, do those two people know that that person is in love with both of them? You know what I'm saying? And well, they're not, but I'm just saying if that's what they're calling it, do they know about each other? So in healthy relationships, no, absolutely not. Can't do it.
Keita says yes. Why do you say that, Keita?
Yeah, Keita, why you say that? Bring Keita up.
All right. My mother told me to bring you back up, so I'm gonna bring you back up because you want to hear it.
I want to hear.
Here we go.
Um, I am that free spirited individual that kind of believes in polyamory, if you will, when it's done correctly, when it's mutually beneficial to all parties. Personally, with saying that, I have been in a relationship with two men at once where it was love on both parts, not lust. Like I was with, one for 2 years and the other for a year at the same time. So, yeah, I say yes. And yes, I feel like we can't wholeheartedly love everything about somebody, right? Like, or I say, okay, we can love but not like everything about somebody. And not, we shouldn't rely on one person to fill all the needs, I guess, in our life, if you will, because I think that's unrealistic, right? Because we're just individual people. We have our own past, our lives, and personalities, and what have you. I don't think there's anything wrong with having, if it's possible. I think it's rare, but if it's possible, I don't think there's wrong with having people who fill different parts of you. I think that's what we have in all relationships, if you will. I have our friends that fill this part of us, and then we have our romantic loves that fill this part of us, and we have our familiar love that have this part of us. So I think it's not impossible, and it's not to say that one way is worse than the other, or one way is wrong and the other is the right way. I think that everybody is different. Polyamory is not for everybody, and monogamy is not for everybody, but that doesn't mean that I'm incapable of loving just because I choose either.
Well, I just want to say to you, Kida, that's what's up, girl. I always say, I think if anything, women might need more than one man. I ain't gonna lie. Now, I just want to say that. So yeah, shouts out to you. I don't agree with that lifestyle, but if you're gonna be two, I think it's two men and not two women. So hats off to you, girl. I love that for you. And the thing about this, and let me ask you this question. And again, I'm listening I'm seeking to list to understand, not to judge or respond. So don't my tone. I'm not nothing, no shade. Because I've always wondered about that, right? Because I was always saying, why is it that men they feel like they need two women when most time men aren't even,
Oh,
able to, emotionally, especially to even satisfy one woman. So why would in the world would he want two?
oof.
Yeah. But now with you having two, yeah, and a lot of times you would think that. So the question is that did you really love them or have love for them? So when we start talking about love, I mean, I'm talking about being in love with the person, not so
Yeah.
much as I love this person for that conversation. No, and don't get me wrong, if you're sapiosexual and you're, and intelligence is a factor, but is that in love or is that a love for that
Right.
person? I think that's the difference.
No,
So
that's a valid question. Like, obviously, right? I think for me, I would say in love on both parts, but it was different, right? So for the one that I was with for 2 years, he was actually, here present in my life, if you will. And, we intertwined our lives, spending nights and, spending time together or what have you, traveling together. And then the one that I was with for a year within that, that was long distance. You know what I mean? So he wasn't as physically present in my life, but he, emotionally, we had a very deep bond because, you know what I mean? It wasn't physical. A lot of times when we are physically involved with the people that we are with, but physically involved with anyone, of course, it's going to heighten that attachment to them. And it's hard to differentiate what's really in love versus just lust. So it just kind of get bundled up and wrapped all into one. So it may not have been, but I'm going to say, yes, I was with the one that I was with, personally, physically, like 2 years, I was in love. And the person that I was with more emotionally, I was in love also.
Well, this brings up that, and again, I'm not telling you obviously how you felt because, like you said, you know what you felt. So I'm not saying that. I'm just thinking out loud because, like I said, I've never heard that. So I'm just like, oh, that's what I'm talking about, right? Okay. The one who wasn't there. A lot of times, I think sometimes people can form bonds. And I'm not saying this is your situation because obviously, I don't know, and you're here to speak for yourself, so you'll take it, that way. But when you're not there, when a person's not there physically, a lot of times, and not so much as whether you're having sex or not, it's easy to go through and form that quote unquote, emotional bond, because it also does not require a whole lot than the person that's per se there. That's not only just feeding you emotionally, but also in other ways. And we're not even talking about sexually. We're just talking about even if it's this intimacy in the of bonding and spending time and going places and creating experiences together as well outside of sex, as opposed to one that's just basically a good conversation partner and you fall in love with the idea, if you will, because you don't really have that. You know what I'm saying? That's not really what you have because they're really not there in that way. That's how I would think about it. But
No, I
that's
hear you. And like I said, when I say not here, like keep in mind, it wasn't just purely, over the phone conversation or what have you. Like he traveled to me,
right.
and oftentimes, and we also traveled together too.
Hmm.
So it was more just a long distance relationship, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was just some online catfish type of thing.
So you are not you're currently not with either. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So then and they knew about each other.
Yes.
Okay. So then, what do you think? And I'm again, this is not a judgment. I'm just literally trying to understand. So, what do you
Uh-huh.
think that kind of broke it up, if you will?
Yeah. So what for me into the relationship? That's what you're asking.
Hmm.
Okay. So for the one long distance, I ended that relationship after a year just because personally I felt like I wasn't ready. I felt like I don't know, I felt like he was more so willing to um disregard, if you will, his standards for me. For instance, I have a daughter, and he didn't have any children, never wanted kids, and things like that. And again, lived, with his family in Maryland, and he was just ready and willing to kind of uproot himself to kind of be married and be here with me, type of thing. Um, and personally, I felt that I don't know, it wasn't feasible given his personal situation, if you will, with family. So I didn't think that he was being logical, and I ended it just because I felt that it would have been best for him long term.
Oh. Well, I think if he was really in love with you, then that is the thing for him to do. A lot of times we set certain things and said, "Oh, we don't want this or we don't want that," but then when we meet a person that does hit it for us, and we think, you know what?
Yeah.
I can make the sacrifice with this person because they're worth it to me, as opposed to, oh, you stuck into some ideal that we set for ourselves that was really, when you look at it, a lot of times, not predicated on anything. So I
Oh,
don't
I
really.
get that. No, no, I don't question his love at all, in that sense. What my issue was is that it was it was an awkward situation because remember, I already have somebody who is here. So it's like at that point for me, what do I do with this? do we all move into a compound? You know what I mean? I live in the main house, y'all live on the outhouse. Like, what do we do with this? How does this really work? You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
got their own room.
Like that don't really work.
Well, I mean, if you said polyamorous and is done a certain type of way, then it could have worked. But I mean, again, if everyone is emotionally there, you know what I'm saying. So a lot. I mean, I personally have never seen those types of relationships works. I just have not. And the reason why and it's common sense to me, because when you start talking about this, the emotional and of course the intimate part of it, those things bring on other feelings, and again, you become territorial. Yeah, you understand that. I mean, you understand that there's other parts that that maybe are not being satisfied. Granted, but we do things on an 80-20, right? I mean, like we wear, 80%. I mean, we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. It's just like that's one of those things. So when you start talking about in a relationship, it's not going to work. I mean, even when we see it play out on TV, they're sitting up there and they got this dumb look on their face. Time, oh yeah, we just gonna raise a family, but they're not happy because it's got to be crazy that if you had, intimacy with your husband one night, now he doing the exact same thing next door or in another house on the other. It's a national.
I can't say that it won't work. You know what I mean? Again, it's not for everybody, right? You can't yuck somebody else's yum because it can work for some people. So my father, for instance, he has 2 wives and they've all 3 been married for 10 years.
Right, but I'm saying I'm not saying, and obviously I don't know the thing. I'm not saying that they can't be married for 10 years, but I mean you got a monogamous people, but supposed to be not monogamous, and they're married for 20 and 30 years. Like I've said that on times before, where we had people who I had this one. My first career was hair before I got into real estate, and I used to have this lady. She used to come religiously every Friday to get her hair done. She had a standing appointment with her boyfriend every single Friday night. And they had been together for 20 years, but she also was married. And so her husband also, I guess he had somebody, one of his maybe too, but they stayed married. But now, is that the type of marriage that I would say I would want? No, it wasn't. But that's what they did. They basically, they raised the kids, they stayed together, they were married, but they had these outside lives. And that's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about people who stay in situations. We're talking about when I look at, you can look into a woman's eyes, a lot of times even a man, but you can look into their eyes and just see, like, are you really happy, or is this what you're supposed to say? Because at the end of the day, you're being called selfish, or you made to feel a certain type of way. And we find that on all types of relationships, not just poly, but I'm just saying that's been my personal experience. So, but I've never seen a woman with 2 men. So that's why I was like, I think that would be the one that would work. But so that's when you said that. I was like, oh, girl, tell me more.
I personally think that it could work either way. I feel like, again, it's really a niche kind of situation and relationship. Because personally, not to put my father's business out there, but it's like, again, one wife is here, she don't work, at all. Her sole mission is to just, love him and rub on his feet when he's tired, versus the wife that lives in the main house type of thing. Like, she does everything that she wants. So ultimately, both women win, right, if you will. And my father has the means to take care of both, and then some. So at the end of the day, everybody wins. Everybody's happy. Everybody's flourishing to their own respects, right? Because I feel like if those women, they are much older than I am. I feel like if those women truly were not comfortable in the situation that they were in, or truly happy or in love, they would each walk away.
No, I know people stay in relationships, they don't walk away because they value security over anything else. Sometimes financial security and whatever like that too. So they just kind of deal with it. So yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying that they're not happy, because obviously I don't know them, so it may work for them. I like I said, for me, I just never seen anybody like that. But that I do thank you for that, because I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. To hear, that other side like that. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I always, I'm kind of like Godmother. I was always curious, and I mean, I love to hear that. The perspective. Huh?
I'll never do it again.
That was a one-time thing, huh?
Absolutely. Thank you for the experience.
Okay. Hey, you got the experience, and you're like, yeah, this ain't for me. Look,
that's what I was wondering. I mean, and this is what I was saying, because I was like, I love, her her spirit like pushes the free spirit. So I'm like, well, I was wondering, like, how does that work? So yeah, that's
It's a lot of work. To be honest with you, I think that it can work and it did work for a
which is a
while, but it's a lot of work. And I'm a mom on top of that, like, and I work full time on top of that. All right, something got to give.
oh yeah. So you probably should have put both of them in the compound. You ain't got to work. All you got to do is be a mom. You know what I'm saying? And go from there. I mean, some call it pimping, but I just think you had to set up. You know what I'm saying? That's what that situation could have been godmother approved. I'm just saying.
This
Right.
mess.
All right. Well, look. So, anybody that's just joining us, welcome to the 100 podcast. Topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry. Hey, look, Keita, appreciate you even sharing that story because I mean, hey, that was a level of chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta bring,
Regardless of how we look.
we gotta bring her back. We gotta do a show on just that.
Hey, I'm here for it. You know me. I always got a different topic. So, um, here's another question I'm gonna throw out. Do we romanticize the almost relationships more than the real ones?
Yes.
Yeah, media is pushing that. Look at the Black Love page and Black Couples Revolution and all those hashtags. It's a snapshot in those people's lives, even though they probably argued getting dressed. They probably rode in separate cars, but that one snapshot with a hashtag is teaching us to romanticize a look and not the real. Reality TV. Everybody watches reality TV more than regular TV. Why? Because it's a scripted version of life that you can see, and then your own creative edge is what keeps you relevant, whatever drama. And then you take a little scene in every episode where everybody's dressed up with their husband and then they go to dinner, but then there's a fight, and then one of the ladies is about to get divorced and they're gonna have a divorce party, and it's not about love, it's just romanticized almost love, just like you said. So I do think that it is more so romanticized than real love, because you'll see more headlines about celebrities as well getting divorced or the drama going on in their family, other than the celebrities that have been married their whole careers and met when they were like Disney kid ages and are still thriving in marriages or long-term relationships. So yes, I do believe that the short-term things are romanticized more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with her as well because I mean a lot of times people we hear people say you see my glory but you don't know my story. So a lot of times what it takes for people to get to a certain place in their life, even if they are married and they're truly they truly have a great relationship, they don't talk about the time when he did step out and she almost left, or maybe one of the kids ain't really his, or whatever the case may be, but he made a choice to forgive her, and they decide to do the work and work it out to get to what we see as being displayed. We just see, oh, I want my prince charming, not understanding that charm is temporary. It's character that's permanent. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you're getting just what you're asking for, and because it's just a charm, it's just a facade that's being put up. Nothing real, nothing that's going to go through sweat equity. Just really giving of yourself. It's just whatever it takes to look like, oh, I want this part. But now when we start talking about people growing, when we start talking about, when sex drives change, when his penis don't get hard, when it starts to shrink, when, whatever. I mean, the things that, we hear in life or whatever the case may be that have happened to people and how they're able to work them out. Somebody gets an addiction, somebody has an affair, somebody has outside kid, whatever. We don't talk about what does it take to, despite all of this we gonna work it out. Or I mean, personally, I can say for me, I gave it up. I'm like, oh no, I ain't got time. But some people have worked through that, and so to understand that the grass is not necessarily greener on the other side, but it definitely takes maintenance no matter what grass you got. And that's where people, they get, and it's no different than like how you do one thing is everything, right? Like you see a lot of women going and getting BBLs and all this kind of stuff like that. And so as a result, I'm going to get BBLs because they want the look without doing the work, without working out or whatever. They want to have everything instant and without any kind of, pain. And Betty Wright said, no pain, no gain. So definitely.
All right. Okay. So let's look at it one more time, right?
Yeah,
Everybody
girl,
that's just
stop.
joining us. This is the 100 podcast. Topic for tonight is a Love Jones kind of love when chemistry feels like poetry. Everything that we talked about tonight, right, was about that type of 90s love. Everybody got a little homework to do. Some people got to go watch some people got to go watch some movies. But but you know what I'm saying? Like the whole gist of it is we for how we started it off, and everybody knows about that 90s type of love. You know what I'm saying? That 90s type of love is just different. You know what I'm saying? It's different because it's poetic. It's different because it's a love that was just, I think it's a love that surpasses a lot of love where it was free. You know what I'm saying? It was a free spirited type of love where you went and you truly pursued the person, and it went on both ends. It was a man and a woman. They both pursued each other. They were very intentional about love, and it was about you could write a poem. And I remember back in the day, with my daughter's mom. I guess I got a story now. I can remember writing a poem about how I felt back then and going on stage. And most people that don't know, I actually can write. Actually very good. I just don't. But I wrote it, man, and it was like so intense. And when I was speaking it up on that stage, I could look over the audience and it was like, wow, No, I'm not saying like a woman pursues, not saying pursue a man, only a man does. No, I'm saying, but a woman is intentional and she'll say, hey, I like this guy. And there's nothing wrong with her saying that she likes him. But let me get back to my story. Hold on 1 second. Yes, she's open to receiving. I went there, and the way that sometimes poetry can explain the story and how you feel better than you just saying it out loud. It's amazing how the words on that page can just, man, it can just set a tone. It can set a whole mood. It can inspire an entire room, Yeah, man, it was just like this that night. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah. And, and it gave a sense of like, dang, I want that type of love. You know what I'm saying? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? To know that, and I think all of us have that inside of us. Sometimes it takes that person to bring it out of you in that moment, Yeah, Kyoko, it's a beautiful thing, man. And those who don't know, Kyoko is a you think I'm a poet. No, I'm not a poet. She's a poet. She got some stuff that is that's my sister there, boy. She got some stuff in there. I have to on the next one. I'm gonna have to on my next one, since y'all are at, I don't know, I might have gave it away, but the one for next week is gonna be a poetic justice type of love, you know. So definitely gotta have Kyoko on for that one to drop down some poetic stuff on there. Um, but I'm gonna
Marlon,
give
let me oh, I'm sorry. You were
no, go for it. What you say?
okay. Something you said earlier, and Flip is asking me some questions about pursuing, and I got what you were saying. You were meaning like being intentional, about a woman like being courted, a man doing his part, and then a woman obviously being open to receive the courtship, and reciprocate in a way that she lets it or appreciate what he's doing is was what you were saying, and I definitely do agree with that. But Flip asked me about why did I not ever see I mean, a man that I, was interested in. I wanted. I was like, yeah, but I didn't pursue. And he was like, why not? Because that's not what a woman does. That's why. It wasn't. Women were made to accompany a man is granted, but a man's supposed to, lead, protect, and provide. So when he finds the one that he wants to, he's going to show up a certain type of way. He'll be consistent. He'll do the man things he'll provide. That's, I mean, not so much as money, but also provide a safe place for a woman's heart so she can be in her soft girl era, so she doesn't pursue him. And that's why a lot of times we find, even in today, going back to piggybacking off what Marlon was saying, you find a lot of women who don't understand that, so they're pursuing men. And I mean, those men are sassy because no real man wants to be pursued. He wants to be appreciated because men equate love with respect, right? But not pursued, because that's not how it's supposed to be. And I don't even care if people tell me it's 2025. I don't care what it is. Even in 2025, wheels are still round. There's some things just don't ever change. And that's why you have so much discord a lot of times in relationships, because people don't understand exactly how they're supposed to receive, be how their behaviors that they should have, so I say. And you say, oh, all these women now, they're making money, they're hardcore. And the women talk about, oh, I'm independent, I don't need a man, da da da, because they got money. And the reason why they're feeling like that is because they've had to they're pursuing, they're acting hard like men. But that's not how it should be. You can be successful, but still be in your soft girl era. And if you have a man that's there, he'll make sure that you're in that area. And he does not want you pursuing him. He pursues you. All you have to do is appreciate what he does. So I wanted to clarify that. I mean, to clarify that with Flip, but also to piggyback what you were saying, is the time of where we are now. Again, it's understanding that when we have real conversations and we're real about where we are in our lives and what we even want, because sometimes people are afraid to say what they really want based off of how other people are going to receive them. But you got to keep that 100 with yourself, because if you don't get it, just like what Kedra said earlier, Keita said earlier that most times people can't. You don't find one person to fulfill 100% of you. But in all actuality, in all fairness, even you yourself, when you're by yourself, there's not 100% of you that you like. It might be 85, 90, 95%, but it's not 100%. There's always something that you would go through and change. So to think that someone would be able to do that is unreal. But like I said, going back to the relationships again, when everybody understands their part and their role and how they should move, and there's an intentional, about that. A man is intentional in his pursuit. A woman is intentional with being able to be open to allow him to show himself as the man for her, possibly, or whatever. Things are a lot better. We don't have egos. We don't have everybody hitting their head up, against each other. You just have a flow. And if it works, it's beautiful. And if it doesn't work, it's still beautiful, because you can part ways without any kind of hard feelings. So.
Okay. No, I got that.
And
So Keita,
she said not all women want to be soft. I think with the A type personalities like to be in the masculine. They do, Keita. They do. I don't disagree with that. But at the end of the day, well, okay. So I wouldn't say, I don't know if I'm type A personality, but I have a lot of masculine energy, and that comes from me being in business the way that I have for such a long time. So it's been when you're in the business, got a little look to your little body on you. Most men think two things about a woman: I can screw her and she's dumb. That's what they think. So when I'm in my business, I'll have nobody ever come up in 20 years we just celebrated 20 years, Nobody will ever tell you, oh yeah, I used to mess with her and me and her start dating or whatever. I don't mix that. I don't do that personal thing because I'm a professional, period. Because that's what my father always taught me. You carry yourself like a lady. So sometimes, like I said, you have to kind of let that be known because other than that, they feel like some men feel like every woman want them, or they can get every woman. Or also, I'm the only black-owned real estate company on Hilton Head in Bluffton. So then a lot of times it's, oh, she black, she don't know nothing anyway. So you kind of, a lot of times when women are masculine, they have to be that way in their careers. But as many decisions as that I make, as many moves as I make, and I'll get all the different accomplishments, and like I said, TV, magazine, all this kind of stuff like that. Ideally, I'd love a man that's strong enough that when I got home, I didn't have to make no decisions because I've made decisions all day in my career. In my that's my business life. In my personal life, I just want to go and be the soft queen that I am. I mean, I always keep my nails done, my hair done, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, but I'd love to be in my soft girl era. But in my business, I'm 100% hard. That AKA the godmother. That's where it came from, the godmother of real estate. So when you think about godmother, I mean, if you see me, I'm not a little woman, so it's not even like I'm a fairy godmother. But I do, I talk and I got gold teeth and all this kind of stuff. So it could be considered a gangster. And it just depends on what side I'm on. Depends on what side you get. And when I was associating with myself with zodiac signs back in the day, and my birthday was Friday, so that's trick or treat. So I'd always say, you figure out which one you want. You want a trick or treat? Either way, I got both of them. But that was that way. You know what I'm saying on how that came. But it's true. That was my thing. You know what I'm saying? So when you see me in my professional, yes, that's who I am for sure. And I'm start talking to people, start, oh my God, she just motivates me so much. But when you see me in my natural behind the scenes habitat, my desire is that my man serve me. That's what I expect. Not because there's so much as that I'm the godmother, because I leave that on the other side of the door. It's because I'm Carmen. It's because I'm a queen. It's because and I grew up with a man who was a man. My father was a protector and a provider, and he was a very smart man. So I had those kind of real strong, roots, and he showed me what a man should do. So that's why, I'm just saying all of that too. So I don't think it's so much as a type A personality. Some want to be masculine because they haven't come into their true self. And who wants a
Um,
sassy man?
so
So,
I want to say this for a second. I think the energies the energies that are upon us, right? The energies that we present is a choice, I feel. And just like there are men out here who would much rather be in their feminine energy, right? They don't want to pursue, they don't want to do this, that, and the other. I think that that's okay. I think that a lot of what we deem as what's determined to be a man's role versus a woman's role, that was all taught to us. And I think that for those individuals who don't want to fall under those prerequisites, if you will, and want to just choose what feels right to them and be authentic to themselves, like, okay, I'm shy. Like a man could be like, I'm shy, if you will, and it's not going to be a hard pursuer, right? But does that mean that he doesn't deserve love, right? Or does that mean that I don't know, his counterpart or his true love is a woman who is more in her masculine, right? Because maybe that's how she had to be all her life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's not what she wants to be. It was how she was taught to be. That's all that she knows. And she doesn't feel comfortable now with relinquishing that masculine energy, right? Because now she needs to be in control. She needs to handle it. Like, I'm not saying that she can't have a partner who is more in his feminine energy and can't be her partner, but she's just more in her masculine. There's nothing wrong with that. I hate putting blanket statements on people, whether that's gender or what they choose to identify as or sexual orientation and things like that. I think that there is a place for everybody. And if this guy is not in his masculine energy, i.e. pursuing me, and I'm in my masculine and that's where I'm comfortable with, I think that they are compatible and can have a great marriage, just like someone who wants to assume the more obvious traditional roles, and a woman being a woman in her feminine and her soft area, and a man and be in his masculine. I think different strokes for different folks.
and I mean, I could somewhat agree with that also too. But I think the other thing is that when some people say in a soft era, soft a lot of times is confused with being weak.
No.
And no, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's your thing. I'm just saying just in general.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, so my thing is a lot of, and a lot of times, and like I said, my first career was hair. So I would sit and talk to women, not sit, but stand and talk to women all the time because we didn't gossip. I didn't allow gossip in my salons. But I would get women from all different walks, like, younger. I mean, they were older at the time. I was in my 20s. So, so 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, well, even up into the 70s. And I'd listen to everybody. Now, again, I'm always one to listen to observe because I want to seek to understand, even though it may not be my cup of tea, but I want to understand that perspective and where that's coming from. And my experience, and I'm 54 for context, is when I would see people try to do anything different, they would do it, granted, but either you got a soft man, and I'm something soft as in maybe probably DL, and I mean, don't get me wrong, some people that maybe work for them, I'm not judging. I never judge, I just observe. That's not for me, but that's what it is. And I mean, and sometimes they knew that their man was X, Y, and Z, and it was cool with it. So if they're cool, then you're right. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Now, is that for Carmen? Absolutely not. And I think today also a lot of the discord comes, and again, this is piggybacking right off what Marlon was saying. With all this, well, you can just do whatever you want to do. There's certain things, whether it's not a blanket statement, it's just certain things are just that's the way that they were intended to be. Now, people can always choose to do something different, and that's up to them. Because one thing about it, we all have free choice. But if you're talking to the majority of the women out here and actually break down what's going on with them, they all want to be at that, in that soft girl era. Again, not soft so much as saying that they're weak, but just they want to make sure that they're in a secure place, secured, free to love, free to be taken care of. And they still may work and provide or whatever. I mean, they still may work as too, but they still don't have to worry about, I got to go out here and try to figure out how to pay all the bills because the husband has, or the man has taken care of that part. That part is done, and it takes a lot of off them, and they can be a mother without being all these different putting on all these other different hats.
See,
But
again, but that goes back to the traditional roles, right? What if that woman is not necessarily, let's say, traditionally maternal, if you will? What if the father is better at being the parental than she is, and she's better at getting the money? You know what I'm saying? So I
well,
feel
like I
like,
said, they can
again,
always do. Yeah, I'm saying I'm not disagreeing with them. I'm saying they can always do whatever they want, and again, however it works for them, because we don't all want the same thing. That's why I'm the only one over here with gold teeth, right? It's not that you can afford them; you didn't want them. So so we definitely get that. But I'm saying in the majority of women, when you start having conversations, that is how they. That's how they're is perceived. That's what they would
and how
like.
much of that is taught to us? How much of that goes from, just way back in the day, right? When women didn't have certain rights and we were told that we needed a man for all this safety and security and this quote unquote soft life. Like, again, it's like I want to personally dig deep into how much is just systemized, masculine energy, if you will, masculine supremacy, if you will, right? Versus actuality, right? Because we all live in, supposedly, like, healthy individuals have both masculine and feminine energies, if you will, and it's just a matter of what we choose to show up as, what we choose that is most comfortable with us to show up as in this world. And it shouldn't be deemed right or wrong if a guy chooses to be more feminine or if a woman chooses to be more masculine. I think everybody is different, and again, we shouldn't put a blanket statement over it.
Well, I feel like it's wrong for me. But I'm just
That's
saying, but
cool.
you're right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody do their own thing. For me now, going back to what you said, because now I didn't grow up like traditional. I mean, like some people's like, oh, like it's this and little girls do that. I wasn't. I was different, tomboy and all that kind of stuff. But and like I said, my father didn't tell me, he taught me again at 19, he gave me a business and I've been a businesswoman ever since, but it's from 8, he started grooming me for business. So I didn't grow up in church, none of that kind of stuff. I mean, I grew up believing in God, but I didn't grow up in church. So I don't have a lot of the traditional ways, but I watched the way that he behaved. And so, like I said, the way that he behaved, that made him not just respected at our household, but he was respected amongst the towns. So there's sometimes again, and I hit even like my daughter, she's 34, and some of the young people, oh, well, we don't want to be consumed to this and that. Well, guess what? Like I said, some things, this is just the way that they work. It don't matter how long ago it was, it still works. Now, again, even from back then, because everything was not traditional, even back in the days. It's whatever you decide you want to do because you all have free choice. But when you start talking about, again, a majority of the majority of women would like. There's some who want to be a dude, and that's okay. I mean, if that's what you feel like you want to do, and you find somebody who's soft, and that's what he want to be with you, then hey, then y'all find y'all one. I don't want no soft man. I don't. I need my man to be a masculine. I need him to be a leader. But I'm saying there's a place for, like you said, those ones who do want a soft man, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there it is. Man, I love all of this, man. It got my wheels turning, you know. And actually, all of this, everything that everyone has said, goes right back to the whole topic of the whole conversation. That Love Jones kind of love, with a twist of perspective. You know what I'm saying? That twist of perspective is whatever works for you works for you. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel, you feel. And I love every bit of it. You know what I'm saying? I think that that collectively, when you're thinking about that Love Jones type of love, the '90s kind of love, even the love that kind of transpired until today, I think I still think there's still intentionality behind even love today. Now, in my opinion, does it go as deep as it did in the '90s? No. I think a lot of it is surface. I think it's a surface type of love right now. It's transactional, as they say. What can you do for me? You know what I'm saying? So, for those that it works for, great. If it doesn't, me, I understand all relationships are transactional. You know what I'm saying? There is some level of transaction in a relationship. It just depends on how much transaction is going to take place and how much each one of us can endure. But the kind of, like I said, tying that all into the '90s, the Love Jones type of love. Again, it all goes into perspective. Big guy, I see you back in here, man. Godmother missed you.
I did not. But let me chime in on this one thing that you said too, Marlon. Mute yourself real quick. You were saying the '90s love, but we could actually go way back from way before then. So again, 40s, 80s. I mean 1800s. 1900s or whatever case it be, 1920s, 40s or whatever case it be. Like it's always been a certain type of way. I mean, because not only does that, my father was born in 45, but my grandfather, same thing. That's how he treated, Grandma Pearl. You know what I'm saying? So it was a way that I saw men. But like I said, to me, it works good to my spirit. In a lot of ways, I'm not the traditional woman. But at the end of the day, I do expect any man that's in my face, he has to come a certain type of way. Because like I said, I don't do the soft man thing. But as Keita said before, I mean, everybody, we don't all want the same thing. And I do agree with her because I've seen people do it. Now, hey, you got, I've seen a man, he dressed like a woman and the woman dressed like a man, and they're a couple and they married and they're happy. So, hey, whatever floats their boat. I'm just saying for Carmen, that man need to be masculine. But also, like I said, and for the majority of women would like to, if they could, relax, woosah, be soft in general, even if they work or whatever. My admin works, but whatever money she makes, that's just for her to do whatever she wants to do with it. Her husband takes care of everything. You know what I'm saying? And she has a good husband from what I can see. She seems to be really good, well-rounded or whatever. And I'm like, that's what's up. I'm gonna get me one of them too. Well, my husbands in the past, the one that's deceased and my ex-husband, they all were providers. I didn't have men that weren't providers. So, but I've always worked and made money at a high level as well. So it's not like I lost my identity because I was their wife. I was still who I am. But they still when I came through the door, all that stuff stayed on the other side, and I was able to get what I needed to get. So just not just '90s love, but even before then was my thing.
I mean, but think about it, though. Think about it, Godmother. It was a '90s love. You know, with your husband that passed away, the way that he pursued you.
That wasn't. It was in the 80s. Remember, we was in the 80s.
Oh shit! Damn that. No. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. Yeah. It was the '80s, early '90s. Come on now.
I'm saying for us, you're right because of our age group. But I'm just saying in general, even like with your parents, they didn't have a '90s love, but they still were in love in the '90s. Because I mean, again, when you talk about your parents, the Bowers or whatever, now how you would talk about your Uncle Wilson Bowers and your daddy Bow and your father was completely different. They were brothers, but they were two different type of men, and they had and they had two different type of reputations. I'm saying,
yeah. I mean,
right.
Then you put Pat in the mix of it. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, right. So you know that's so. But in the '90s, I mean, one thing I could, like I said, your mother always was. You know, she was always well put together. She always was. You know, she was all. And every time your father was around, it's like he just had this thing like, this is my queen. And so people always respected them that way because of how he carried himself. And I even myself, I watched the same thing. So yeah.
Well, I mean, but look at it like this. Even when it was, whether it's the '80s or '90s or whatnot, even taking it back before then, like you highlighted on, it was everybody that was in these relationships understood that they carried a certain representation of each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. You represented the person that you with. When you stepped out, you made sure you step out correctly. Now, granted, you take it back, you know, to them pre-'90s, pre-'80s, pre-'70s. You know, they did some stuff, but it was what they did. But everybody kept their mouth closed. That's a whole nother topic, though. But
they just together. They made a commitment to love.
Yeah, they made a commitment to love. You know what I'm saying? Nikita said there was. She said she thinks it's cultural. It's about what we are taught to expect. All right, Coco. Kyoko, I will see you later. I'll give you a shout later on this week. We'll talk.
Okay, no problem.
All right, let me drop you down so you don't lose your coins.
All right.
All right, got it. Yeah, it was different, man. But yeah, so I definitely agree with Keith on there. You know, a lot of things is cultural. You know what I'm saying? We are taught a lot of things, you know, and then going to our own direction of going, because, you know, just because we were taught things doesn't mean that we necessarily adapted to those things. You know, we started going off on our own little thing to go figure out shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was.
I think as
a lot of times had a hard, had a hard way with that because I mean, now I talk about, you know, my father, Marvin Smart, who you know, but my biological father, Moses Wilson, was completely different, you know, and like I said, like Trick Daddy, and you know, I mean, those are my cousins, and you see what type of, you know, N-words they are. Period. Their whole attitude, it was different. I mean, my biological father was a true pimp, so he was a womanizer. I'm an outside child. He was a married man with 4 children with his wife when he got me. He was out doing his thing. Now, when he died a married man. My stepmother never divorced him. And not only did he have, you know, a child, you know, by my mother who was a teenager at the time, he also, you know, got with my stepmother's best friend, you know, and he had a nightclub. So, you know, he performed. So of course you have women who out were groupies and whatever. So the two different lifestyles that I saw, that's how he did things. That's what it was. And again, it came back to how he was taught. He was taught pimping ain't easy. He was taught he was well endowed. So therefore women were objects and they had to pay for it. That was, you know, that's how he grew up. That's even how he acted when down in, you know, we were in Miami. That was our thing. You said, Daddy, I got a headache. He gonna hang your blunt. Now again, so when you start talking about how you were taught or what's cultural, that's two different sides. Because there was this opposite. You know, he was real dark skinned. Now, of course, you know, my father who raised me was high yellow, and that's just how different it was. You know what I'm saying? It's different as dark and not. But I know for me personally, what felt the best, what I watched my stepmother kind of deal with, and how, even her self esteem and all that, it just was not the best place because, yeah, he did whatever he wanted to do. She was committed to stay married to him, and she did, but she went through a whole lot, and it's got to be something not only for your husband to have an affair, but actually bring a kid home and say, if you love me, you love her. That's crazy, but I'm just saying that's what she did. So we're taught different things, but that's how he was taught. When I go back into my family on that side, I mean, it was a lot of that. That's just how they did, and the women allowed them to do it. But is that going to be something that I'm going to deal with? No. Now there was a,
So
what I'm saying. So
yeah, when I say like cultural, differences, right, it's about what we're taught. Like I'm thinking like too, like if you think about the tribes like in Africa, right? You have some tribes who, men are trying to earn the respect and the passion and the love, for a woman, if you will. And they go through extravagant changes just to impress these women to marry. And then you have some tribes in Africa, if you will, where it's the opposite, right? Where the woman does everything around the house and the man's job is to be there to procreate. That's not to say that one tribe's, their culture is different or better, than the other, but it's just different. It's about what we're taught. And if we're only taught that, my desire is to be there for my husband, be here to rear his children, what have you, we don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? And that's what we come to expect. That's just the way that it is. Just like in America, if you will, like we are taught that it is a man's role, like a true man does X, Y, and Z. And I wholeheartedly feel like it just comes from, again, just the lineage of like what women and the dynamic, I guess, if you will, that was set forth at the very beginning, what women were allowed to do and what men were not, were supposed to do, if you will, in the role of a household. Right? Because again, women didn't get certain privileges till recently. We just celebrated 50 years of being able to sign a mortgage without a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that it's just a matter of just systemic, if you will, just implanted in us what is expected of a man, quote unquote, for our culture. And there's nothing wrong with that, Americanized culture, if you will. It's just been instilled in us that this is what is expected out of a man. This is what is expected out of a woman, because that is the culture that we were, quote unquote, taught to idealize, if you will.
No,
It's
you're
different.
right. You're right. It's again, what we were taught is what we know. When we started to branch off and see different perspectives of how to do things, is how we began to know how we wanted to move. And we at that point we started to make particular choices and decisions of saying, okay, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. But it all also stems all the way back to you everything's a choice. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a choice. You gotta, and everybody's entitled to their choice. Not everything is one size fits all. You got to kind of make a choice on what you want, how you want to deal with it, whatever. There is no judgment. Even though people are going to judge, people are going to have their opinions. But opinions are like buttholes. Everybody going to have them. I think everything really, it just boils down to, we learn what we learned from how we learned it. But we have to make a choice if what we was taught, do we want to keep going with that, or do we want to do something different? That's what the end result goes back to. Let's see. Godmother says a man is built different. A man is even built differently than a woman. A woman carries life, a man can't. I got life for me, girl. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just talking about life, but you can't carry no baby, even though they're trying to go through and do that now. So when we start talking about and again, it's not I mean, I definitely do get and respect what Keita is saying for sure. And there's a part of, there's parts of that I do definitely agree with. But I think my biggest thing is, like I said, is people are saying, well, that was how we were taught. That's how we're made. That's why it's that way. So we're made a way to do a certain type of thing. And she's a mother. I'm a mother for sure. And I'm sure there's several other mothers on here. I can't imagine having to go through and do all of this and then pick up all the water and bring all this. And you got a whole nigga tent at the house, Is you supposed to, I don't care what tribe it is, but I know she's right. There are different, there's different ones, but I'm just saying, You want to get up here and help me with this water? Don't play with me, boy. I got this. You don't have this baby, and it's a lot. You know what I'm
I
saying? We're
know
made
that's
a certain
right.
type of way, to produce, milk and nurture, and we have a different size. So we'll have, men that she said about that have like a real serious, a strong paternal instinct, as opposed to some women just don't have it. And sometimes it's something in bloodline, but whatever it is, the bottom line is, like I said, they're made differently. That's why they have broad shoulders, bigger hands. I mean, they're strong. That's not taught. That's how they're made. They have, a penis, and they have, we're not the same. So the idea that, oh, it's, I mean, you can do it whatever you want to do with what you have, but we were made to be a certain type of way. And like anything else, people can take it and change it and make it do what it do. And that's why I feel like, as being an old schooler, we have so much discord in the world, and love has been, changed and convoluted. The way it's like, you weak if you even want to be in love. It's like, you weak if you even want to be in a soft girl era. It's like, that's how society has painted you, when at the end of the day, that's how you were meant to be. So, but like I said, we can always choose to do whatever we want to do. So
See, and even in saying that that's how it was meant to be, I think it's a little bit, it's leaving people out, right? Because what about people in lesbian relationships, if you will? And what about when both of them are feminine, if you will, right? They found their true love and neither one of them is masculine. Like, we're not also in an era where brute strength is necessarily needed in today's world. We're not building houses from the ground up anymore. We're not tending to the herd. We're not tending to, the farm or whatever else like that. We don't need that anymore.
well,
Life has granted us certain luxuries where, quote unquote, that masculine brute strength is not a necessity.
we talking about in the case of and you're right about with the homosexual, I'm sorry, the lesbian relationships, even though that's not how God intended it to be. He wanted a man to be with a man and a woman, a man to be with a woman, and vice versa. However, people have made the choices, even from back in Bible days, okay, so it's not new, to do whatever they felt that they want to do. But the order was for that we could come together, and we could get with a man and then procreate. So brute strength is not one thing, but it's not that he got to be a brute. But I mean, I surely do appreciate, and that's the one thing I always laugh and joke I just miss about being married, because I remember whenever the garage door would come up, my husband would come outside and he'd be like, coming ready to pick up the stuff out the back. I done been shopping for. Now I got to carry my own bags up. I'm like, I don't like this. I mean, they get upstairs, but I would prefer to have him to come, or have somebody to come and pick these bags up. So that's what I'm saying. There's certain things, but I mean, have it again when they change it, then that's what it is. But how if you with a man and if it's a man and a woman, that's how it's made. We're made differently. We're just made differently. And I mean, I personally don't want a man with wide hips and a big butt. That's for sure. However, that is appealing when it comes to so when it comes to other way around. So it's just it's just not gonna be the same. It's not that we're all equal. One's not better than the other, but we have different, we on the same level, but we have different obligations and responsibilities. We're just made a certain way. A man don't have a period. He don't have it. It just ain't coming.
Preferences, right? Because I mean, a man and woman can come together, but you say the job is to procreate, but some men and women don't want to procreate in today's world, right? Because we're looking at the bigger picture, and then it's like, I don't know, like a lot of women, because a lot of men aren't taught emotional regulation or emotional responsibility and things like that, how to be an actual true partner, in today's world, women prefer other women, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think that we all deserve love in some capacity, and whether you choose a man, or a woman, I think that it should be okay. Whatever makes you happy.
Ultimately, that's what it is, and I don't disagree with that either. I mean, men are certainly, without question, not taught, how to deal with things. A lot of men aren't. Even when they're little boys, if they fall, they're told that they're punks if they cry, or that they're soft. Get up, man. You're a man, so you're right. So a lot of times they don't know how to, basically effectively communicate with women on an emotional level, because they've been taught to suppress their emotions. Yes, that's true. Yeah.
No doubt.
But now, no matter what, I still would like the penis over anything else. I'm just saying. But I'm just messing with you, Kita. Like you're right. Everybody has a choice. I have, friends and family that, of course, they're in the relationships that work best for them, and I don't. I never have a judgment because you do what you gotta do. We all gotta give an account for whatever we do or don't do, and the greatest commandment is the love. So that's what I do. I just show love. We laugh, and as long as everybody's respectful, it's always good. So I do agree with that.
Awesome. Look,
Maybe that's why we got the old school.
go ahead, Lady E.
I was like, what she said over here?
I'm just.
Lady E, what
What
you
you
said?
say?
We couldn't hear you, honey.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it's like we have representation for the old school and the new school, and I said I'm loving it.
Right, me too. I mean, I do definitely without question appreciate and we have our differences. We agree with the majority of stuff, and certain things we see differently. But I love the fact of how we're also able to have a dialogue and still be in and be respectful of other people's thoughts. So
Yes.
that's 100. I love how
Mhm.
she's also able to articulate and break it down. Those are her feelings. I mean,
Absolutely. I love it. Love it.
yes, awesome. Yes.
Well,
Let's say awesome segment. Okay, that's what's up.
yeah, awesome. Definitely awesome segment, man. But we down to these last 4 minutes, so you know what we about to do. We're gonna have everybody give a little takeaway. Who wants to do the first takeaway? Or wait, actually, before I do a takeaway, big guy, I know you're there. I know you've been listening in. Anything you want to add to anything, bro?
No, I'm good. I enjoyed the conversation. I know a lot of the ladies. It was majority of the ladies speaking, but I just I I picked up a lot of what was said, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to give me your takeaway, man, I'll drop you down. I'll drop everybody down if you want to give a takeaway, and we gonna get out of here.
No, I'm gonna leave it to the ladies. Y'all enjoy. You can go ahead and drop me down.
In
All
other
right,
words,
man.
he wasn't paying attention, Marlon. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Hey, man, leave my brother alone, man. Leave him alone.
Nobody bothering him. I'm just saying he wasn't paying attention as his usual. Drop him down. On his head.
I try not to, Marlon. Just drop me down, please.
Drop him quick. Hard.
I can't, man. Lady E, what's your takeaway?
Ooh, it's so much. Well, I think that I'm with the godmother when it comes to having a man and what they represent in the home and within the family or whatever. I do believe it goes to how you have been raised, your experiences in life, all that contribute to that. And I could also see the other side of people, wanting to be in different type relationships and, maybe their father wasn't in their life and, they went through a lot of trauma as to why they don't look at men as being, the person, the breadwinner, the backbone of the family. So I can get with that as well. So once again, to me, it just all go about, how you're raised and your experience.
No doubt. No doubt. And that's what it goes back to. We only know what we know. All right. I'm gonna drop you down, Lady E. Let's see, sis, Tay, do you have anything you want to add before I drop you down for your takeaway? I think she had to step away for a second. So let me drop her down. Give me a second. Let me drop Tay down. All right. Brooklyn Babe, you got a takeaway. I appreciate you riding out, man. You and this level was here.
I think don't be scared to love and give your all, whether it's male or female. If you have that love for that person and they bring the best out of you, never mind what others may think or feel. If y'all two have that bond, that's all that matters.
Well put. That's it. That's it. Let me go over here and drop you down over here. All right, Miss Keita, we closing out. What's your takeaway for tonight?
My takeaway is that I got some homework to do. I gotta watch these movies, so I know what y'all talking about.
Hey, that's you and Godmother. You and Godmother got some movies to watch.
Clearly.
I was about to say, once you see him, I want to get some feedback on them too. That's what's up, because like you said, you know I have seen them, so that's what's up.
So that's the homework for both of you guys, man. That when y'all watch Love Jones, I'm gonna ask you guys next week. Even though next week is gonna be a poetic justice type of love, I want to know what you guys thought about Love Jones, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies to watch. Outside of Brown Sugar and everything, I love to watch it because it's just the intensity in that movie and understanding how that connection was. I mean, who doesn't love Lorenz Tate and Nia Long in a movie? You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we'll catch that. But yeah, Keita, so I'm gonna drop you down. Now, if you got anything else you want to throw in before I drop you down?
I mean, I appreciate the dialogue tonight. I'm shy, so I don't know how long, this gonna last, how often it's gonna happen, but I appreciate it.
She said she's shy. Right?
Oh, Abs, don't even come in here with that. No, ma'am, you're certainly not.
Damn.
No, you really are not. Okay, so yeah, because I mean, you spoke. Well, first of all, you ain't come off shy at all, and I mean, some people don't jump in every little circle, but I think, I mean, it got down to the point. Me and you talk more than the host. So more than Marvin.
Right.
And, had good points. So yeah, no, you're not shy, baby girl. But I mean, I definitely, without question, loved a lot of what you said. And Marlon, we're gonna go back and have you up here, Keita, for this for that relationship. I want to know what it's like to have not one but two mans.
I got you. I appreciate it.
No,
nice to meet you too.
You too.
Make sure you guys follow each other. Do me a favor before anybody jumps off. I need everybody to unfollow me and follow me back. If you guys don't mind, unfollow me. I'll keep it open. Unfollow me and follow me back. That's how the TikTok works. So unfollow me, follow me back. And I appreciate you guys doing that. That keeps this here going. So I appreciate it. So follow me back. Keita, let me know once you've done it, and then I'll drop you down. And then I'll drop you down. And while Keita's doing that, Godmother, it's on you.
Well, unfortunately, I was late. I missed a lot of it. But the godmother is godmothering on the real estate tip. So I'm just, was finishing up pretty late, but, and of course, Love Jones, I can't speak to Love Jones because I didn't see the movie, but those other ones I've seen, whether love and basketball or whatever, we all have these fantasies about love. And for me personally, it's a goal, to have to be pursued, and I've always been, because that's kind of how I require it. I do just enough, but at the most it just keeps them hungry. But my mindset, like I said, is just different. So ideally, I'd love to be in a wonderful, loving relationship where we're in roles. I'm definitely for the roles, because again, though I'm a hustler, no question. And like I said, have been able to have done very, very well in my career. I'm still a queen, and a queen always desires her king. And to everybody else who whatever they want to do, what they want to do. Yeah, but I want one man, one king, strong enough, large penis. I'm just saying, I have to throw that in there. But I'm saying that's able to go through and
I'm definitely about to drop
give
your ass down.
but listen, this is 100 podcast. It's a grown folks discussion, okay?
Grown folk. Grown folk. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's definitely without lady say yes, queen. I'm trying to tell you, snap, snap. And so but I do love, like I said, hearing other perspectives. And I think when we're able to open the shares, for me, like I said, I'm an observer, and I like to educate myself and just see other people's perspective, whether I agree or not. But I love to to see that. So I was just, so yeah, that's the kind of love the majority of us want, but for sure. And again, we just have to understand the things that and how we carry ourselves in order to get that. And most of all, when you find the person that works for you, be willing to do the work so that, you can have that kind of relationship. Because nothing, I don't care what it is, nothing comes easy, and you got to work for it. That's it. And be consistent with it and be intentional with what the end goal is. So yeah.
That's it.
Mhm.
For sure. For sure. All right, let me drop you down.
All
Get
right.
my little close out. So at the end of the day, guys, a Love Jones type of love, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have as we learned tonight, a Love Jones type of love doesn't have, a gender. A Love Jones type of love is just a love. A love that is so poetic, so enriched, so deep, so profound that it makes you want to speak certain words. It makes you want to speak life into that person. It makes you want to, go after that person and show them that, you're that person and that you want them to be your person. That's what a Love Jones type of love is. And, everybody got a little homework to check out the Love Jones, and you'll get a lot more insight to why I say the Love Jones. It's the pursuing of things, like Brooklyn Babe just says, Love Jones is possible. Hers is 25 years in next April. That's what I'm talking about, so it exists, man. We all working towards, we all want that type of love. We don't want to be alone. God don't want us to be alone. He didn't put us here on the earth to be alone. Finding that Love Jones type of love where that person, like my wife did earlier, finished my sentence, my thought, that's real, I who would have ever, I look at sometimes and realize that, my wife now is for me that definition of the Love Jones love. It didn't happen in the beginning, but we've been best friends for over 28 years, and it came back to where this is what it's supposed to be. So it's like that love was there, but it just wasn't. It was in a different form. You know what I'm saying? But look, guys, next week definitely join us for the poetic justice type of love. So your homework is make sure you watch Poetic Justice again, so you know where this is going. I appreciate everybody that joined us. I love everybody. Everybody be safe. Have a good weekend. Godmother, appreciate you. Keita, appreciate you. Lady E, appreciate you. Next Level, appreciate you. Brooklyn Babe, appreciate you. 33, appreciate you. Coco, appreciate you. Kyoko, appreciate you. Everybody. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. But biggest of all, thanks to my sis Tay. Always been there, If you guys don't have anything else, Morris Sovereign. I know I seen my brother come through, man, but he didn't stay. I seen him come on. Oh, he came. Okay, yeah, he came on, but then he bounced out. Flip, man, yo, Flip brought some questions. Flip, we're gonna bring you up on the panel next time, man, because you you brought some questions, bro. You definitely brought some questions, and I'm here for it. You had the ladies thinking about some stuff. Keita, yo, appreciate you, man. So we'll catch you guys next week, man. Do your homework. Check out the Poetic Justice, because that's gonna be the next topic, because you guys missed yesterday. Yesterday was a thin line between love and hate. 33 was on that one. So until next week, guys, peace. Oh, he dropped some gifts. Morris Sovereign, man. I appreciate you dropping those gifts, man. I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna go back and check them out in the other one. All right, you guys. Have a good night. Peace.